A beautiful, warm Saturday in Birmingham as the race heats up in the American. One of the hottest teams in college football has arrived. North Texas looks to keep their college football playoff hopes alive against the Blazers of UAB, who are 3-1 this year inside Protective Stadium. Maybe the most fascinating conference race in the country when you look at the logjam in the American. Count them up, 5 teams today with just 1 loss. Navy currently leading South Florida. That could change over the next couple of weeks how these numbers shape up. According to ESPN Analytics, South Florida a narrow advantage over North Texas. And a pleasant good afternoon. Sean Kinney alongside 12-year NFL veteran Tyoka Jackson. Savannah Collins will join us sidelines in just a moment. Tyoka, you look at what Eric Morris has done at North Texas. They have caught the attention of the college football world. What makes them so special?
Fun. This team has a lot of fun playing the game, and they're a ton of fun to watch. Reminds me of my old team when I played with the Rams. They called us the greatest show on turf. I call these guys the greatest show on green.
Well, one player we know is having a ton of fun is true freshman Caleb Hawkins. He was simply unstoppable 2 weeks ago in the win against Navy.
Yeah, I want you to watch this guy. He's an 18-year-old kid. He's got everything you want. Vision, patience. He's a terrific back. Out of the backfield catching the football, and he's got toughness. He will block as well. There's no question in my mind that this is the best freshman running back in all of America.
On the other side for UAB, Alex Mortensen knows what it takes to knock off a giant. They did it in this venue a few weeks ago with Memphis. What's the recipe for success today?
Yeah, this is about possessing the football, stringing together first downs, and running up the time of possession advantage. That's how they did it against Memphis. That's the blueprint for today. They're 3-1 at home, so can they go to 4-1? We'll see in just a moment.
Mortensen, the interim coach, taking over for Trent Dilfer midway through the season. Just a gorgeous day here in Birmingham, 76 degrees, no humidity, nothing but clear blue skies overhead. A win that is keeping things comfortable inside Protective Stadium. UAB won the toss. They elected to defer, so we will get to watch one of the most powerful offenses in all of college football, North Texas. What a 15-month stretch it has been for Drew Mestemaker, the redshirt freshman from Austin. Last year in camp, he was the number 5 quarterback. He started last year in the finale in the bowl game, and now you look during the bye week, he's popping up all over national media, including the Rich Eisen show.
Yeah, I love to watch this kid on tape, and I'm looking forward to watching it in person. Came from nowhere, but now here he is.
Austin, Texas native, and they will go to work immediately in the air as they swing it out near side to Wyatt Young. Cy McDaniel tracking him down, and this is an up-tempo offense. They will mix up their speeds, Tyoka.
Yeah, and they will get the football to their wide receivers in space as well.
First touch of the day for Caleb Hawkins over the left side, and this is going to be a key area for UAB. Can they slow down the freshman? Not many teams have been able to do it.
And this is where they've struggled defensively in third down. It's going to be key today.
They go far side, passes caught, and a first down. So their first third down opportunity, they're able to get it to Landon Sides. And just like that, North Texas moved the sticks.
This defense now is adjusting to the speed and the tempo of the mean green. You can get as many looks as you want in practice, but it's nothing like the real thing.
On first down, untouched until he hit the second wave. Big hole over the right side for Hawkins.
Yeah, I like his decisiveness. So often when you get young running backs, they aren't this decisive. You'll notice that all day.
Over the middle, and they are crisp on this opening drive. Into plus territory. Wyatt Young in front of A.J. Brown reels it in, and just like that, first down at the UAB 37.
One of the best teams in the country is scoring on their first drive.
They just do not give the defense a chance to collect their breath. Now pressure comes. Mestemaker trying to buy some time, heaves it near side, caught, coming back along the near sideline was Cameron Dorner, the transfer from Shepherd.
And remember, this is a redshirt freshman in Drew Mestemaker. His poise under pressure is really remarkable. Did everything he needed to do to extend that play, and you show his ability to throw the football on the run. This is another young kid that's got it all, really.
4 for 4 on this opening drive, 32 yards. He's connected with 3 different receivers, and he has UAB reeling a bit out of the gates. Handed off right side, and this time Blazers were able to shoot through with Eddie Tewsom.
Yeah, that's the play that they need right now. Will this get this offense on schedule? Tewsom playing downhill and gets a TFL.
Second, third down opportunity. It is Hawkins over the left side, and this will be really close. Looks like they'll mark him just short.
Early decision time here for head coach Eric Morris. And you see he wastes no time. He's bringing big people in the game, and they're going to go for this. That second down efficiency got him close. And so dive into the middle. Didn't get much, but he didn't need much for fourth down. And so now you got 4th and 1. Early huge play now for this UAB defense.
In the upper echelon in the American on 4th down this year, they bring in the extra tackle. They run the opposite side and move the sticks. Calvin Pitcher the stop, but not before Hawkins. Power football, and oftentimes you think air raid, you think finesse, but this guy has brought some toughness to this offense this year.
No question. And this running game truly unlocks this air raid offense, because now you can't just sit on one aspect of the football game. You got to play them. You got to defend all 11 players into the court, including the quarterback, who will hurt you with his legs as well.
Keep in mind, he put up these numbers really playing limited reps over the first few weeks of the year. He checks out for a breather. They swing it out to Kiefer Sibley, and he is tracked down by Tewsom. Good start for the senior. Junior college transfer from Navarro.
Yeah, that's 2 TFLs. I mean, that's a nice play in the open field against a bunch of athletes wearing white that are hard to tackle in the open field. So once again, defensively, can you now capitalize on the TFL, get this team off schedule, and force, at worst, a field goal?
Dorner split to the bottom of the screen, sides the receiver at the top. That's the tight end, Williams, in motion. Second down, the patient run, zigzagging into the interior of the UAB defense up to the 23 where Eamon Smalls was waiting.
And so this is the difference between this version of the air raid or maybe Mike Leach's version where they threw. They're going to be two-dimensional in this offense.
Third down, wide open out of the flat. It's Williams inside the 10, lowers the pads, and it will be 1st and goal for North Texas. Crumply, the last line of defense for UAB.
Yeah, that's just a coverage bust on the outside, and watch Mestemaker how quickly he recognizes this and gets the ball out of his hands. Great route combination.
They run to the field side trying to stretch it, but good pursuit. 3 Blazers, Devin Hightower, the team's top tackler. There is the flag down as well. That's speed right there. That's the only explanation on something like that. This defense trying to keep up.
This tempo challenges you from a physicality standpoint. They're going to get into your cardio and see if you're ready to go. But they're also going to challenge your ability to substitute. Can you be on the screws about who's running on and who's running off before they snap the football?
Touchdown machine. Caleb Hawkins is checked back into the game. Split backs, flanking Mestemaker left and right. Again, they put Williams in motion. Little counter action to Hawkins. Keeps the legs driving, but he'll be stood up at the 1. Amori Morrison was the first one to greet him.
And so this is, again, traditionally where the air raid offenses struggle. But this is not your traditional air raid. They're going to run pull schemes and power schemes and try to run the football when they get in this area of the field. And so clearly UAB understands that. They saw what I saw on tape, and they were ready.
54th trip into the red zone this year for North Texas. They have scored 40 touchdowns, one of the top teams in the country. Dramatic turnaround from a year ago.
Full house backfield.
2nd and goal, 3rd back through, and plowing his way into the end zone for the touchdown. How's that for an opening drive and a statement for North Texas?
Well, this is what they do. They like to play from the front. And they're one of the best in the country at getting you behind early. And it just becomes an avalanche. Now, we're too early to even say that that's what's coming now. But this is how they start basically every single game. Again, as you see the toughness of this freshman, a lot of freshmen like to bounce the ball outside, Sean. Not number 24, Caleb Hawkins. He runs with discipline.
Mestamaker perfect on the drive. 6 of 6, 49 yards. Hawkins 7 carries, 19 yards, and he caps off a 14-play drive for Eric Morris. And North Texas off and running. The number 2 scoring team in the country on the road today. They have a college football playoff berth on their mind. You're watching the American on ESPN. Absolutely gorgeous day. Beautiful facility here at Protective Stadium in Birmingham, North Texas on the opening drive. 14 plays, 75 yards. And the Mean Green firing the opening salvo up 7-0. Laser offense waiting to take the field for the first time. There is a little bit of a breeze. It's a swirling wind inside this stadium, knocking the ball off the tee. North Texas fresh off a bye. No rust after the first drive. They were sharp, and now we will see what UAB can do on the counter. Dangerous return game for the Blazers, so they will keep away from that. Short kick to the 20, up to the 25. That's where UAB will start. It's been a North Texas team having a lot of fun this year, Savannah.
Well, you know what, that took took some time to come along for this squad because they had 68 newcomers this season. That's second most in the FBS. And something that Coach did to do it is they would have voluntary workouts on Saturdays. And they barbecue, they grill for the guys, play some dominoes, some spades, because these guys had to get to know each other and fast. Now what we're going to see the fun on the field behind us today is the complementary football. Now that defensive coordinator Steve Russ's team is out on the field, they are excited when this offense allows them to attack a team from behind. They take pride. The offense gets a lot of rah-rah, but they are tied for 4th in turnovers forced in this country. They take a lot of pride in being fast and physical to back that offense up.
Well, you saw on first down, that's a nice, efficient run by Isaiah Jacobs. But, to Savannah's point, a lot of new guys on this roster, and 60% of them are freshmen and sophomores. So, the future is extremely bright for this Mean Green. If you're going to get them, you better get them now.
Quick throw by Kitna, who is given the start today, and he will get the ball to Javon Jackson out of the crazy formation. So here's Jalen Kitna back after missing a couple of games. This will be his 7th start of the year. They tried to bring him back a couple of weeks ago against UConn, but he had a couple of pretty significant upper body injuries. And when this guy is on, he can throw it with the best of them.
Well, he's got great pedigree. If you recognize that last name, Kitna, his dad, John, who I played with in Detroit with the Lions, he's got even more talent than his dad from a natural physicality.
Trying to change direction and having some success getting to the corner and shouldered out of bounds on the North Texas side. Running the football a key. This offensive line wanted to establish the trenches, and they have an explosive back in Javon Jackson.
So we gave a lot of love to Caleb Hawkins, and we should have. He's been an outstanding freshman, but Javon Jackson is a terrific player in his own right. Comes in averaging over 5 yards a carry. He's going to be the key for the Blazers. Can they continue to run the football and keep this football and keep that offense off the field?
15-yard run, and now taking a shot deep. It's Ryder Burton into the game, and it's intercepted. Picked off by David Fisher near the goal line. Fisher setting up a wall of blockers, still on his feet, finally pushed out of bounds. So they bring in Ryder Burton, who wastes no time trying to dial up the long ball. Another takeaway for the Mean Green secondary, an area that's improved so much. Fisher with the pick for North Texas. Alex Mortensen told us both quarterbacks would see reps, and he was not kidding. Both opportunities on this opening series. Ryder Burton's first play, though, not a real good decision, Tyoka.
Yeah, I just don't think that ball should have been thrown. I understand he's trying to get it to his big-time playmaker. The problem is David Fisher read 9 route the entire time. So nothing threatened him underneath. He just ran down and ran the route for the receiver, and it was like fielding a punt. And again, I understand trying to get the big plays. You got to stay with this offense, but you got to be smart. And interesting decision to take Kitna off the field, who has the big arm, who's a downfield thrower, bring Burton on. I think they tried to trick the defense, and Mean Green wasn't having it.
Skylar Cassidy has done the job coming over from Sam Houston in his first year as the defensive coordinator. And one of the areas that he put a priority on was improving the secondary, and they have just leap light years in front of what happened for the Mean Green a season ago out there.
You see Drew Mestre, good look at him, and so efficient in this offense, nearly 70% in terms of completion percentage, 79 last week, and this is why they do it. It gets so many easy plays to their receivers in space.
Hawkins makes a move around the corner, and he will get pushed out of bounds close to a first down. Eddie Tusum again, already 3 tackles for the senior.
This is early danger now for the UAB defense. You talked about 14 plays in the first series, and now you give a turnover, albeit rather deep, but a turnover. And this defense is back on the field, so the play count is continuing to mount now for the Blazer defense.
North Texas 2 for 3 on third downs. They've all been manageable, just like this one, 3rd and a yard.
There you go. That's the key.
Staying on schedule. Up the middle, little push from Mestamaker for good measure. Hawkins, look at this guy go. I mean, he is a bulldozer. Yards after contact, he does not go down. You better bring it.
Not a redshirt freshman, a true freshman. Hasn't even gone through the offseason workout program yet. And I promise you, his best days are ahead of him. Look at the determination. Look at the power. You just don't see young guys coming into Division I football like this and discarding tacklers at will.
Eric Morris told us he showed up ready to go. He had a college body. Even his first day on campus, he's even added to that. He's put on about 10 to 15 pounds since his arrival. Sideline pattern, trying to curl his way back inward. Makes a couple of moves. Wyatt Young inside the 5. Finally tracked down by Sarad Bryant. 1st and goal, 35 yards.
We talked to Wyatt Young and asked him, who do you like to watch in the NFL? He said Amon-Ra St. Brown and Cooper Kupp. And you saw both of those guys in that combination there. Toughness and route savviness.
Explosive play. They are lined up, ready to go. And so is UAB. Hawkins smashed by Smalls.
So first of all, I want you to watch the timing of this throw by Mestamaker. Separation, there's the timing. Now look at the ability to break the tackle and make people miss. Just excellent in the open field. That's the yards after contact and rack yards that you like to see from receivers.
Injury timeout. One of the defenders down for UAB. It's Smalls, one of their key cogs in the center of the Blazer defense, being attended to. North Texas, the early lead on UAB here in Birmingham. Don't forget the American on ESPN Plus is home to 40-plus college football games, more than 1,000 exclusive live events, and every American Conference championship throughout the year. For more information and to sign up, visit stream.espn.com. Alongside Tyoka Jackson, Savannah Collins down on the field. Sean Kinney welcoming you back to a sun-drenched Birmingham today. Up the middle, and Hawkins has number 2. Practically untouched, and North Texas extends the lead.
So they get you spread out, and they got you worried about their wide receivers in space and their ability to efficiently throw the football, get completions, and get their guys in one-on-one situations. And while you're worried about that, they punch you in the mouth with this freshman running back. And again, he's running behind his pass. See how low he gets coming through the hole? Now, he wasn't challenged, but look at the great ability to get behind his pads. That's fundamental running from that freshman right there.
Ali Anguma for the point after, but a flag is thrown.
Offense number 91. 5-yard penalty, retry.
So North Texas is not perfect. Is that, I mean, I just want to make sure, right? They're not perfect then. They can make mistakes, right?
Caleb Hawkins has not been making any mistakes. Look at this rushing attack. 32 total rushing touchdowns. Mackenzie McGill, the talented sophomore. We've seen Sibley in a couple of carries, but clearly this is Hawkins' backfield right now.
And the freshman will lead them. Very rare.
After the penalty, the kick is on the way, and it is good. So North Texas off a bye, leading 14-0. Couple of rushing touchdowns from the freshman Hawkins, who is coming off a 33-carry performance against Navy, and here in the opening quarter already 11 rushes for the talented youngster.
And so if you haven't seen this team play, talking about North Texas, what you're seeing is a microcosm of this entire season. They come out and they score on the first drive. Defensively, they get turnovers. They come into this game plus 10 in turnovers, and then what happens after the turnover? They score off of those turnovers because they play great complementary football. This team, they call them the Mean Green. It's more like the Green Machine, the way they operate.
They've always been a really explosive offense with Eric Morris, but the reason they've made that next jump has been the red zone efficiency.
Yeah, no question about it. And why? The running game, the ability to call it, the discipline to call it. And they've got a lights-out freshman who's able to run it.
See if special teams can get something ignited. This is Solomon Beebe, the dangerous return man, as Beebe takes it out past the 20. Escorted out of bounds at the 23 by Colin Lewis as we check in with Savannah.
Well, one of the focuses that Alex Mortensen has had for this team is play with emotion, but not emotionally, and that means feeding off of energy but not letting it dominate you. And where you can see that is on the sidelines. He doesn't want to see frustration there. And on the field, it comes to not affecting their decision-making, and it was a huge factor in why they were able to knock off number 22 Memphis. So if they're going to do the same today, they're going to have poise.
And it was a huge factor why they weren't able to beat Rice on the road last week. Lack of discipline, 9 second-half penalties really cost them. Ball was stripped away as trying to maneuver his way around defenders. Let's see if UAB got back on top of it. North Texas signaling they have the football. It is Trey Fields who has it. Still no indication from our officiating crew. Boy, this would be a disaster if UAB has coughed it up for the second straight time.
Recovered by the defense. First down, North Texas.
Wow. Disastrous start now for the Blazers offensively. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers. Take a look at Solomon Beebe here. And this is the pressure this offense puts on. He's trying to make a play for his team. I get it. Ball security first. And I think that was Weslowski who got that football out. Just a great job of attacking the ball with that tackle. Listen, if you're a young defensive player, don't come in with just your shoulder and try to knock the ball out. It's not going to come out on its own. You got to wrap your arms, and he did a great job of batting that ball out of BB's hands.
2 takeaways already for Eric Morris and his first-year defensive coordinator, Skylar Cassidy. And they are going to take a look upstairs. Jonathan Schwanbeck, our replay official, so they will take a look to see if indeed BB lost the football.
Yeah, I have no problem with looking at it because you got to get it right. This is a huge play, clearly, anytime there's a turnover. But nothing I saw there is going to reverse this call. You got to remember, it starts with the call in the field. And so if the call in the field is a fumble, you have to have irrefutable evidence, visual evidence that the call in the field was incorrect. In fact, what I saw was visual evidence that the call in the field was confirmed to be correct. I mean, that ball is out. There's no knee down. You can forget about it.
Keep in mind, North Texas without Shane Witter for the remainder of the season, one of the key linebackers, a trio of linebackers that have played a ton of snaps this year with Witter and the guy you saw punch the ball free, Ethan Weslowski, and then Trey Fields, the other linebacker who recovered it. Those three linebackers have just been so good this year, but they're going to have to go the rest of the way. Non-contact injury suffered last time out for Witter, and that's a blow to this defense.
And see, to me, Sean, this is where you got an offensive player who feels like he needs to make a play. He sees this thing slipping away quickly, and he's searching and looking, and that's fine. But first things first, when you are carrying the football, you have the hopes and the dreams of the entire program in your hands, and so you've got to lock onto that football first before you do anything else.
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld. First down, North Texas.
No surprise, takeaway number 2. And the celebration along the mean green sideline. Little stone cold Steve Austin coming up. Keep an eye on Weslowski and Mr. Fields.
That's right.
Ethan Day told us yesterday, their big starting defensive end, he wants a piece of that celebration today. So here they go again. First down on the slant, a laser beam of a throw, and that's the first incompletion today as Tariq Watson was able to break it up.
Very important now for the Blazer defense. You have got to lock in and do your part. It couldn't be any worse a situation, but this is where you are. And you've been on the field a lot. You got to find a way to make a play for your offense.
Who will step up for UAB? Difficult start to this one here on their home turf.
See now, North Texas slowing it down to get themselves in the right play.
Maker looking, he'll launch back of the end zone, and good coverage. He was trying to hit sides, but again it was Watson with him step for step.
This is the biggest third down so far of the game because this thing has begun to snowball. And that snowball has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. You need to find a way to get some momentum for your team. Obviously, a turnover will be huge here. But guess what? A third down stop will be even bigger. Well, not quite as big, I should say. This is where you can grab some momentum, force a field goal, and make the offense understand that, hey, you can come in. We're with you. We're going to stick in with you. This is a team game.
Hockey line type change defensively. A lot of fresh bodies in for the Blazers. Hawkins comes back to the backfield on this third down. Over the middle, inside slant is caught. Miles Coleman, his second game back after missing some time with an injury, and he will pick up the necessary yardage of first down.
UAB decided to go two-man. We got two safeties high and man-to-man on the outside.
Here is Hawkins, a flag thrown along the near side. Hawkins barrels his way in for what would be his third touchdown, but there are flags along the UAB sideline.
I don't think they were set, Sean. I know they were trying to go fast, but I'm not sure every offensive player was set.
Offside, defense, that penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Well, we were just talking hockey line type changes. How about a hat trick in this first quarter for Mr. Hawkins?
Well, I thought the offense was off, and nope, that's completely on the defense. How about this just extraordinarily physical young freshman?
You talk about complimentary football for North Texas. Coming into today, this is a defense that had created 20 turnovers, which had led to 90 points this year. You look at what they've done in the first quarter, 2 turnovers, 14 points. Complimentary football at its best.
And what that does, it forces the other defense to play desperate because their play count is starting to rise higher and higher. Fatigue even in the first quarter. begins to become a factor. And when you can run the football out of a spread in this way, running the football is like body punches in boxing, right? Body punches. They will pay dividends as the game goes on, and not as if they're not paying dividends right now, because they are. But the ability to be two-dimensional out of a spread offense with a hot quarterback who can hit the open man with great efficiency and a big-time runner, man, it is really hard to stop.
It's been a lot of good running backs throughout the years at North Texas, and that was one of the reasons Caleb Hawkins wanted to come be a part of this program. They have an exceptional running back coach, and Patrick Cobbs, who had an NFL career, and you could go through the list of backs throughout the years, whether it's Abner Hayes, Lance Dunbar, Jeff Wilson, Cobbs himself, and Hawkins wanted to be a part of the legacy, and he certainly is on his way.
Yeah, he is. Great start of his career. Obviously, great start to this game. If I'm Blazer head coach, Coach Mort, Alex Mortensen, I'm telling my team, or at least offensively, what can we do if we don't turn it over? Have they really stopped us, or have we given them the ball twice on these two possessions? They were moving the ball very nicely on their initial possession, just threw the football away. Let's see if we can hold on to it and move it.
Start this drive from the 20. Kitna will hand the ball off, and making a move and picking up good yardage goes Javon Jackson, tackled by Avion Armstead.
Talked to him yesterday. It was a lot of fun visiting with him. His dad played college football at Jackson State, and he played safety, and he said, that's where I get my toughness from. Be a dog. Bring that dog safety mentality to the running back position. He's very physical.
Back-to-back carries for Jackson and a first down. Really special moment earlier this year with his father, able to watch him really go off in his debut, transferring in from UTEP. And he set the tone the very first game of the year, 17 carries, 166 yards, and they knew they had a weapon in the backfield.
No question about it. And they say he's their emotional stabilizer. We heard Savannah talk about, being emotional and really keeping those emotions under check. Well, they need his leadership right now and playmaking.
First down, but before the snap, a flag down. Looked like movement on UAB.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense number 77. 5-yard penalty, second down.
It's Logan Moore, the redshirt sophomore, making his 10th career start. Alex Mortensen with the interim tag right now, replacing Trent Dilfer. He was let go this year following the loss at Florida Atlantic. Fourth game on the sideline as the interim head coach for Mortensen. First and 15 after the penalty. Long throw by Kitna, sails on him, incomplete.
Great coverage on the outside. Avion Armstead was all over it, playing zone coverage, breaking on the ball.
This has been a tough place for North Texas in the past. When you take a look at the meetings between these two teams throughout the years, UAB has not lost to the Mean Green here in Birmingham. These two teams met a couple of years ago, a shootout. That's what Mortensen's going to have to hope for today, down 21. Kitna gets rid of it quickly, near side. Iverson hooks. First time talking about the redshirt sophomore from Pike Road High School here in Alabama.
Yeah, they got to get him the football. This guy is an electric player in space, and he's the guy that can change the ball game with one play. And so just keep dialing up that running game. And as the Mean Green adjusted that running game and put guys to the box, you got opportunities to get hooks in space.
Hook's not the biggest player, but oftentimes the fastest. Third down and 9. This is a must get. They rush only 3. Near side coming back on the pattern, making the catch is Xavier Daisy in front of Armstead. They'll be about a yard shy. And Tioka, do you keep the offense out here on 4th and short?
I think you have to. I mean, you're at the time in the game, early in this game, where you think you need to because it's first quarter. Well, it's 21-0 in the first quarter. And there's no sign that your defense is going to be able to hold up. So you came in trying to win the game, right? So punting the football in this situation I don't think is advisable.
4th and 2. Kitna right now ducks in under center. You don't see this a lot from the Blazers. We'll see if indeed he is going to try to maybe lure North Texas off sides, if they are going to actually take the snap, and they are. Misdirection right side, hole opens up, and a first down run for Javon Jackson, and maybe a little life late in this first quarter.
Yeah, I like the call too. Let's not get cute. I love the ability to try to throw them off with the hard count, but if that doesn't work, lean on your stabilizer. This is the offensive stabilizer for this team. Javon Jackson is somebody you can lean on and count on.
13 yards on 4th and short, and that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. What a start on the road, fresh off a bye. Morris in the mean green. A team that plays loose and has some fun is dangerous in college football, and the boys from Denton fit that category.
Yeah, scoring touchdowns is a lot of fun. Getting turnovers, a lot of fun. This team is fast on both sides of the football, and they love to play with energy. And when you're fast, you fly around and play with energy and score touchdowns and get turnovers. It's a lot of fun. So football can be simple when you're this good.
Couple of takeaways for North Texas. 3 touchdown runs for Hawkins. UAB with their best looking drive of this first half after converting on 4th down a few moments ago. Kitna, a rare keeper as he picks up maybe a yard.
I don't think that was design keeper. I think that was some sort of busted play.
Hawkins, the 3 rushing touchdowns. He's been a workhorse, fresh off a 33 carry performance against Navy. 2-to-1 edge in the total yards, and then the points off turnovers for Eric Morris.
Let's not gloss over 3 rushing touchdowns in the first quarter. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, I'm not a mathematician, but I think he's on schedule for 12 today. Hopefully that slows down if you're a UAB fan.
Second down, Kitna is going to take a shot. Breakdown in communication. Hooks had cut off the route. And that might be just a part of the process of Kitna not taking all those 1 reps over the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, no question about it. You get the broken play on first down, not sure whose fault that was. And now you get the miscommunication on the stop route versus the go route. Not sure whose fault that is, but you just wonder, not getting all of those reps, trying to get him rested and get him healthy, how much is this playing a part in these miscues now?
He graduated from Burleson High School in Texas, started his career with Florida before he was brought in to UAB. Had a really good season a year ago. Kitna can spin it. He'll do it here on a first down strike to the 35-yard line. 12-yard completion. Will Jones the tackle, but moved the sticks for the Blazers. Hooks with the catch.
Yeah, I like the route. Ran that just beyond the sticks. A great job by Hooks. And look at the protection, though. Look at that pocket. That's beautiful. Steps up and deliver. If you give time to young Jalen Kitna, he will spin it as well as anybody in America, folks. A lot of time hasn't been given to him a lot this year. They've given up some sacks. But in that situation, it was beautiful as you see Burton back in the ball game.
Second play for Ryder Burton, who shovels it up ahead, tight roping along the near sideline. Goes Solomon Beebe.
Yeah, that's what Burton brings. He's more movement, got more movement skills than Kitna. Although Kitna's not a bad athlete, he's got more movement skills. We talked about Kitna's arm, as you saw on the previous play. Well, Burton can still throw it too. This is a little bit of a designed read option look where the quarterback has the option to run that football, and if he gets threatened on the perimeter, he's got an outlet. His job of tight roping, as you said, down the sideline, getting as much as he can get now. That's a really good job on first down.
Getting it back in there on the second down play, and North Texas showed a blitz off the edge. They brought Patrick Smith-Young, and somebody got a little antsy.
Offense number 77. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Tough start for the redshirt sophomore Moore. Second time they've tagged him, and he's been a pretty good player this year. One of the young members of the offensive line.
Yeah, but this has been a problem for this entire team. 74 total penalties coming into this game. That's last in the American, and you can't afford to beat yourself when the team you're playing against is this good.
Second down, Kitna over the seam, and the pass a little bit too haul as it went sailing through the hands of Hawkins.
And he had him again. How many times has he thrown this route to that player over the last couple weeks? Because this is like stealing. And I've seen him hit this many times. I was here in week 3. He was lights out against Akron. But that's a play he can make in his sleep. Just want to see him settle down.
Third down, North Texas with 5 up at the line of scrimmage. They come with 4. Kitna hit as he throws. Daisy with his second catch. David Fisher tackles him immediately, and a fourth down decision for Alex Mortensen.
I'd go tempo here, Sean. I would go tempo, get up to the line of scrimmage. Again, try to play with the hard count. You see the late pressure. That's the thing with Kitna. He can stand in there now. This guy's 6'5", 225 pounds, and he's not afraid. Delivers a very accurate ball after taking a shot from Kevion Huddleston.
Huddleston, the transfer they brought in from TCU. So fourth down and short. Tackle for loss in the backfield. Back at the 30-yard line. That was Sadiq Clements.
What an outstanding play by Sadiq. When you got big guys who can get off the block and get penetration, you're not going to get away. He's too big and too strong, 21-0.
College Football Playoff begins December 19th and concludes with the National Championship January 19th on ESPN.
Mean Green hoping to be a part of the 12-team College Football Playoff, hoping to represent the G5, and adjustments to be made. UAB had it rolling that last drive. The running game was working, but a penalty really took them out of rhythm, and they give it up on downs. Texas from the 30. Mestamaker for the first time taking a shot. Wyatt Young right into the basket. First and goal.
Air raid offense, right? Well, play action. This is more pro style because you got a running game. And so no pressure at all because they're trying to play running that front seven, and that allows the time for a guy like Wyatt Young to get behind the defense.
61 yards, and now it's Hawkins finishing it virtually untouched. Striding into the end zone, Caleb Hawkins. His fourth rushing touchdown, 2 plays, 70 yards. Foot on the gas for North Texas.
That's the greatest show on green that I talked about in the open. I mean, two play drives. Are you kidding me? One huge play, and then you turn it to your true freshman now who has his 4th touchdown of the first half, and virtually untouched. I mean, the blocking up front is amazing, and I understand because you don't know if they're going to run it or throw it. You have no idea what's going on. You're a UAB defender.
Guma adds the point after. Caleb Hawkins was the Doak Walker National Running Back of the Week after his performance against Navy. 33 carries against the midshipmen, 197 yards. He scored 4 touchdowns against Navy and
4 quarters
4 already here
right.
in about a quarter and 4 minutes.
He really reminds me of Ahmad Hardy. I had Ahmad Hardy last year, great freshman running back from Louisiana Monroe, and I'm watching him just brutalize defense, and I'm like, this is a kid doing this. Well, I think that Caleb Hawkins is better than Ahmad Hardy, and Hardy is top 3 in the country in rushing with Missouri right now. But I didn't see this type of quickness. I didn't see that type of acceleration from Hardy. Hardy's a little bit bigger, maybe stronger inside runner. I'm just telling you right now, this Caleb Hawkins is different.
Take a look at the list of guys that he's joining as far as the 4 rushing touchdowns in a game. Slayton, Piron, some big names. And
NFL players.
He's done it not once, not twice, but the 3rd 4 touchdown performance this freshman season for Caleb Hawkins. He did it against Army, Navy, and now today with UAB.
Unbelievable. Sometimes teams and offenses and players aren't as advertised. Well, we don't got to worry about that here. This is everything that we saw on tape, thought we would see in the game. That energy.
BB trying to get to the outside. No luck for BB as he is brought down at the line of scrimmage.
BB's a guy they're going to scheme up. They're going to try to get him the football as much as possible, preferably in space. Just an outstanding tackle right there in the open space against somebody who really is tough when he's not inside the box.
Isaiah Jacobs into the game for the first time. He leaves the backfield in motion. Kitna over the middle. It's caught. Xavier Daisy with another catch up near the 40. Tackled by Armstead, 14 yards.
Hey, listen, I'm not trying to insult our audience at all, Sean, but really, has the Mean Green defense stopped UAB? No, UAB has stopped themselves. Save for one drive, they have moved the ball effectively. It's been untimely turnovers and penalties that really has stalled everything they've tried to get going. And again, the message is the same. If I'm Alex Mortensen, I'm saying, guys, offensively, if we don't beat ourselves, we can put the ball in the end zone.
2 turnovers, 2 untimely penalties. This throw high. Hook's got a hand on it, and that probably prevented it from being intercepted. The offensive player becoming the defender there.
Yeah, tips and overthrows can get kind of scary for the offense. like to see that ball obviously be a little bit lower, but he had to get it over an underneath defender. I'd like to see also Hooks go up with 2 hands.
We had a chance to talk to Iverson Hooks yesterday after they wrapped up their walkthrough. Really gave a lot of credit to his older brother, Dre, who really stepped up and helped him recover from some serious injuries and then trained him hard on the field, especially in the weight room, to get him and his body prepared for the rigors of college football. And I'd say Dre has done a pretty good job. Hooks enjoying a really good year.
After that run now, you see here just an outside zone. That's an outstanding play. Stepping up into the backfield. I believe that was Ethan Day. But outstanding play there to get in the backfield and make it. In this situation with this offense and the scoreboard, it really takes your ability to continue to try to hammer that run. And that was going to be a huge part of this ball game for the Blazers.
UAB 1 for 3 on 3rd down. They will change that. They go to the tight end, Elijah Lag, who makes the catch. Lag into plus territory to the 48 and a 1st down for the Blazers.
Yeah, that's again, the protection was excellent. And this defense statistically is very good against the pass, but Alex Mortensen said, listen, they played 2 service academies, and so that has skewed a little bit in their favor, and they thought they had an opportunity to throw the football. The whole key to it is protection. This defense comes in with some excellent pass rushers, and they can affect the quarterback, but not there.
Pivoting to the right side on the drag underneath, making the catch, but a really good open field tackle by David Fisher. If he doesn't bring down Jackson, he might still be running.
Yeah, you called it. And what Fisher was aggressive. He didn't wait. A lot of times you see players get in space like that, and they're nervous about missing the tackle. And so what happens is they start to slow down and give more space and time to the receiver, but Fisher just ran, ate up grass, took his shot, and made it. Outstanding play.
2nd down off the read option. Oh, look at the move, making the defender disappear. Jackson picks up another 1st down.
How about that quickness, elusiveness in the hole. Here's the play before. Again, watch how he comes up now outside in and does a great job of sawing that leg off. Understand where your leverage is, young defenders, and don't be timid. Beautiful job of bringing his arms, too.
You were pretty good at that, Tioka.
Oh, a long time ago.
1st down and 10. UAB again on the march. Lag the tight end in motion to the right. That's the direction they go. But this play really got stuffed at the point of attack by Huddleston.
What a play. Nice job there getting up the field. Huddleston again talked about these linebackers and how aggressive they can be. Well, these defensive linemen are the same. Great job of getting penetration and, quote unquote, missed the tackle, but he blew it up from the beginning. There was nowhere to go because his defense is hustling behind him.
Greg Richmond, the defensive line coach, brought Huddleston from TCU. He coached Sam Houston, Oklahoma State recruit, back when Huddleston was a senior at Chapel Hill High School in Tyler. Nice addition. This is the defensive line that will play 9-10 guys. Cutback lane to the 32-yard line, setting up yet another 3rd down. Braden Knox, a true freshman, in on the stop.
I like the call by Alex Mortensen. He's understanding that pretty much he's in a pull-down territory game the rest of the way. And so what do? You're getting 12 personnel. Let's run outside zone. Continue to try to hammer this football because that's where your team has the best opportunity to come back. And so far, the best player on the field for the Blazers has been number 4. So let's get him the football as much as possible.
We're down in 6. Inside 6 minutes to go, and a half dominated by North Texas. Kitna feeling the heat, throws on the run, wide open, hole in the secondary. On his feet to the 10, to the 5, touchdown goes Brandon Hawkins. Nifty little move as he hightailed it wide. And a 32-yard strike, UAB on the board.
Got some actual crowd noise. The crowd has come alive there. We talked about the nifty move by Brandon Hawkins, but watch the nifty move by your quarterback, Jalen Kitna. Look at him extend. This is a gunslinger, folks, and How about that arm talent? And there is the beautiful move. They've got some electric guys, and Brandon Hawkins Jr. is just one of many. And that's what can happen if you're a Blazer offensive player. If we don't turn it over, we're going to score.
10 plays, 75 yards. Jonah DeLonga with the point after.
Brandon Hawkins in the open space against zone coverage and makes basically 5 players whiff. And Hawkins says, we're not dead yet. I want you to take a look at this touchdown. Great job by Kitna manipulating the pocket. Now look at this right here. There's 5 defenders. How do you lose leverage and don't make a play on that football is beyond me. I understand that that's a very, very talented player in Brandon Hawkins Jr., but so much of playing defense is about leverage, understanding where your help is, and coming from outside in. And that time, I think it was Colin Lewis who lost leverage on the outside and allowed that ball to outflank him and get a touchdown. But again, the number one theme here is the Blazer offense did not beat themselves. And the one drive they didn't, they scored a touchdown. They just need to keep doing that.
Bouncing kick, and then the parting of the seas opens up, and now it's a foot race on the return for North Texas. Out past the 45 to the 42-yard line goes Simeon Evans. Now that looked like it was going to be trouble, and then he just shot straight up. 62 yards on the return for Evans. North Texas and an offense that has not been stopped. We come back, they'll have the ball in golden position. Mean Green by 21.
North Texas with a 28-7 lead and the ball in great field position because of Simeon Evans. It looked like that was going to get a little bit hairy, but it happened right in front of me, and I could hear all his guys on the field telling him where the lane was. So once he got a hold of that ball, he took off and turned that into a 52-yard return, putting the Mean Green in a great position to start off this drive.
I love it when players say, hey, go here, as if the return man, Evans, could hear all of that. But when you're having fun, you're involved.
Estemaker, all sorts of time. Good job defensively in the secondary and the back end. Nowhere for the talented quarterback to go.
So, one of the things when you have a ball bounce on the ground like that, a lot of times the coverage guys will get out of their lanes. It will certainly just get them excited and think that, hey, if I can get on that football, that's our ball. But you got to have discipline to stay in your coverage lanes. And when you don't, a dynamic athlete like Simeon Evans can exploit it.
Evans has to feel like the odd guy out. He was the only offensive player from Sam Houston to transfer. Everybody else from the defensive side of the football. 7 in all, 6 on defense. Evans, the lone exception, as Caleb Hawkins, a double-digit yard gallop, and Hawkins with the 4 rushing touchdowns today.
There's a lot of talented players in college football who are freshmen. But, what I love most about him, the acceleration we talked about, the vision, the patience, he's a blocker, right? I mean, and that's what the coaching staff, Eric Morris, told us, his ability to block and pass pro, understand who to block and to actually do it with physicality is rare for a teenager.
Looking for Wyatt Young along the sideline. Hawkins grew up in Oklahoma, which is very close to where his running back coach Patrick Cobbs played his high school ball. And Hawkins, over his last 6 quarters, Cobbs has got to be pleased with these numbers. Holy smokes.
How about the rushing touchdowns? More than 12 FBS teams, right? Again, just a freshman. He's only going to get better from here.
Estemaker, good decision there. Saw the screen was snipped out, so he just throws it at the feet of the true freshman from Shawnee, Oklahoma, Caleb Hawkins.
Don't look now, but this defense has grabbed a little bit of momentum, and I think in large part is because they had a nice long drive offensively that the Blazers gave this defense a chance to regroup, catch their breath, and make some adjustments. Now, here's some complimentary football opportunity right now. You need to get off the field on 3rd down.
Need to get it to the 22. Estemaker, pressure comes from the backside, spinning, trying to buy some time, being chased, trying to get out of the pocket. Zach Johnson missed him. Now he takes a big hit. Boy, a big-time hit from Sherrod Bryant, who they call their hardest hitter, and he lived up to the reputation there, and he might be feeling the effects of it.
Yeah, I mean,
timeout.
And I understand Sherrod Bryant, who is, you see him, I'm okay. 6'2", 210 pounds is a very nicely sized safety, but he's going against 6'4", 211. But look at the athleticism. I like to see 2 hands on that ball a little bit more, but uncommon athleticism and really sneaky. And watch this collision. Boom! Now, that's enough to get him down. It's Bryant, but Bryant took the business into that collision.
Bryant, the only returning starter from UAB's defense a year ago.
So there is a downside to trying to be mobile. And that's when your quarterback takes a hit on his throwing shoulder. Now, obviously, he looks to be no worse for the wear, but you got to be very careful in that situation. Now, you don't want to take too many hits if you're Estemaker. I think Bryant's going to be just fine. Tough guy. They say one of the hardest workers on their team, leader. Nice job of forcing a long field goal.
Ali Nguma, who's made 5 straight over the last few weeks for North Texas. This one from 46 yards. Line drive kick, plenty of leg, and he drills it.
So not only do you have one of the best touchdown scoring offenses in all of the country, you got a kicker who can drill it from 40 plus with great efficiency. This offense is really special. Obviously, you got one of the best play callers in all of America in Eric Morris. You got a quarterback-friendly offense. You got a young superstar at the running back position. No weaknesses there with the guys in the white jersey.
All set up by the 61-yard return from Simeon Evans. Only Indiana's been better, and that's just by a micro fraction. In Green, over 44 points per game, and some elite company when you see what Indiana's done this year. They stayed perfect earlier today. Tennessee, Texas Tech, and South Florida. The Hoosiers putting up 31 in their victory today.
Second points per game. They're the only team coming in with scoring 400 points total, over 400 points, and 53 touchdowns is second in the country. Whatever you're looking for, they're good at it.
You know, let's not lose sight, Tioka. That's a win for the UAB defense. You know, they got put in a tough position following the long return, but it looks like, as you mentioned, they are starting to get a little bit of traction in the second quarter.
Again, I think being on the sidelines and talking the defense over, they never got a chance to do that. Every time they got to the sideline, they were getting back on the field again. So just their offense having a response, allowing them to regroup a little bit, I think proved to be a really good thing for that defense of the Blazers.
UAB with all 3 of their timeouts. Javon Jackson has had a good first half. 8 carries for Jackson. 58 yards as he picks up 4. Trey Fields the tackle.
You just got to keep calling it if you're Alex Mortensen. I mean, you know, so many offensive coordinators get undisciplined in this situation and just go throw, throw, throw. But if you just keep giving it to Jackson, not only can he pop one, and coming in averaging over 5 yards a carry, but it keeps the defense honest, where they just can't tee off on your quarterback.
In motion is McCray. Second down. Look at Kitna hang in there, and he throws a bullet over the middle. First down. That's the Jalen Kitna we remember, poised under duress, and he threw a strike.
He did throw a strike, and you're going to see the umpire in the middle of your screen. Take a look at the striped shirt. You better get out of the way. Duck, sir, because that's a howitzer coming, right? That's a great job of plucking it out of the air by Hawkins, because Kitna can spin it.
Kitna in his return to the starting lineup, 9 of 12 in this first half, 94 yards, has the 1 touchdown pass. Trying to hit the cutback, but Evan Jackson cut him down.
That's a really good play by Jackson, stepping up, because that's a quick move by Jackson.
Hit the 2-minute timeout from Birmingham, a North Texas team still in the race for the coveted college football playoff, taking care of business on the road.
Welcome back to Birmingham. 31-7 lead for the Mean Green, and this defense that's on the field right now is fueled by the power of friendship between Devon Armstead and David Fisher. They came together from Sam Houston, and Armstead says, hey, that's my man. I've got him. I know he's got my back. Combined, they have 54 tackles this season. They've got a really neat dynamic in that they are competitive. They'll talk a little trash, but they know at the end of the day they have each other's back, and they are a lethal combo together.
And now David Fisher can brag he has the interception. Armstead had been holding the edge in that category since they made the move to Denton, but Fisher with the interception earlier today evens up the score between those two competitive players. And, you know, familiarity is certainly something for North Texas, even though they have all these new players coming in. As Savannah described, Fisher and Armstead teammates, Will Jones, Patrick Smith-Young, the two
North Texas takes
safeties
their first charge time out of the
a year
half.
ago at Old Dominion. So you
It's a
have the
30-second
familiarity
timeout.
for defensive coordinator
Please
Skylar
reset the
Cassidy.
game clock to 1:53. Thank you.
Texas thinking they might get a shot one more time with the football, so they will earn their first time out. Fisher, Armstead, along with several other players, followed their defensive coordinator Cassidy from Sam Houston to North Texas, and that was one of the conditions that Cassidy had for Eric Morris. He said, if you get me, you get all of my assistants.
Yeah, and I asked him, what does that mean? I asked Skylar Cassidy. I mean, all of these guys followed him. And he said, obviously, it's the trust, right? They trust me. They understand the system and know what they're doing. But what it did for me as a defensive coordinator is it allowed us to hit the ground running. And I had a bunch of guys who could confirm what we did at the other place works. And so you don't have to reteach these players that you brought with you, and you don't have to reteach your staff because he brought his whole staff with him. And so now, again, hitting the ground running, you don't have to go with first day install. You're building off the beginning.
Third down, Kitna throws, coming back and making the catches. Hawkins pushed out of bounds at the 25. Armstead the tackle, but Hawkins getting loose. His third catch in this first half.
Yeah, Jalen Kitna is an NFL quarterback, folks. If you haven't figured it out yet, he is. That's what you're watching. You're watching an NFL quarterback play college football. But again, as I said, it starts with protection. If his feet are clean, he's going to deliver strikes. But it also comes down to don't beat yourself if you're the Blazers. If we don't turn it over and we don't commit penalties, we're going to move the football against anybody.
36 yards for Hawkins, 3 catches, 79 yards in this first half. Jacobs weaving his way ahead, snowed under at the 20. Again, time really not a factor for UAB. Plus, keep in mind the Blazers get the football to start the second half.
That's a great point. They're going no huddle, but they're not going fast. Why? Because they don't want to give the football back to this Mean Green offense who can score, as we saw earlier, in 1 or 2 plays. So this is really smart football. The number one thing, though, you want to change the scoreboard here.
Second down, putting some air on it, looking for hooks, and it's broken up at the last second. E.J. Allen got the hand in there as Hooks tried to reel it in.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a back shoulder that was going to work. You got to give Allen a ton of credit for flipping his hips. Watch the route at the bottom of your screen. Well, actually, it came from the slot, so that's a slot fade, and then last second, reaching your hand in, Allen, and knocking that football away, because that was going to be a touchdown. And what you like to see from Hooks is put that foot in the ground and go back and get that ball at the highest point, and you'd have a touchdown right now.
Third down and 5. It's a 4-man rush. They run a stunt. Out to the flat they go, lowering the pads, trying to finish the final few yards is Isaiah Jacobs. Met with resistance from Weslowski. Let's see where they mark it. Like Tioka, he'll be about a yard shy.
Yeah, and that's a good job of getting it so you can make this call with the clock not running, but obviously this is crucial now. Put the ball in Kitna's hands and let him make the decision. I would not run this football here. I'm throwing this football something underneath.
This is a must-get for the Blazers. They bunch up the formation. Kitna under pressure, just throws it downfield, and it is caught. Wow. But is it enough for the first down? How on earth did Kitna get rid of the football just to give Daisy a chance?
Unbelievable effort there by Kitna. And you need to snap this football as soon as they set it. If you're UAB,
Well, they have not moved the
Rolling on the
chains
field,
yet.
the completed pass is short
This will be
of the
reviewed.
line to gain. The ball will go over on downs to North Texas. First down.
So just short, and North Texas, despite the heroic efforts of Kitna, comes up short.
Well, they're reviewing this in the replay booth right now. And if they don't stop the play, then you know that the mark was good, because this is not NFL where you wait
Previous
for a challenge.
play of the receiver short of the line to gain is under further review.
And there you go. If it's going to be close, they're going to stop it. And so they can take multiple looks at it, and this will be close. And what's interesting is I thought Kitna had his initial route. I would believe that was a tailback. I couldn't tell if that was Jackson or Jacobs in the flat. And he could have thrown that quickly, and I think that guy could have gotten the first down. He decided not to let that go. Now, he was under pressure, but how about the strength and athleticism to get the ball off? With a defender draped all over him, that ball is obviously short of the 15-yard line. But I think the line to gain is a little short of the 15-yard line. So it looks to be about probably the 15 and a half where that ball came down. To me, where they spotted the football is a tiny bit short. Now, here's another question. Was that even a catch? Because I saw the nose of that
After
football
further
hit
review,
the ground.
it is an incomplete pass. It'll be first down for North Texas at the 17-yard line.
So that review can be a gift and a curse. You're looking for, did we catch the football with enough yardage to get the first down? Well, you go ahead and review it, and you find out that wasn't even a catch to begin with. Herculean effort by Kitna. I loved it to get the ball out while he has a defender hanging all over him, but I think he missed his initial read. I believe that was Javon Jackson in the flat. If he could got that ball to him, I think they still have it.
So the drive stalls inside the red zone, and now going to work North Texas, and on a crossing pattern up to the 40 midfield, tackled at the 48-yard line. The quick throw to Dorner, and just like that, Mestamaker in this offense lined up ready to roll.
That's RPO, ran to perfection. Great throw by Mestamaker.
36 yards. Mestamaker now zips it out of bounds. Was Landon Sides as he tried to work his way along the UAB sideline.
Yeah, even if he had caught that football, that would have been incomplete because he, like you said, he was out of bounds.
Lots coming up at the halftime break. Maria Tribal Piece lays out the Americans' top plays along with top players, the best of the week featuring both North Texas and UAB highlights. Miss Tyoka and I will get you caught up back on what you might have missed in the first half. That's all coming up at the break. Williams in motion. This will be Hawkins, and if you are just joining us, you have missed another show from Hawkins. His 15th carry in this first half.
North Texas takes their second charge timeout of the half.
4 touchdowns.
This is the 32nd timeout.
Just that little play there, what was that, a 5 or 6 yard run? But it, just the beautiful job of executing how to run a zone read, inside zone, just pressing the hole. So many times we talk about young players not having the patience to run zone, inside zone especially, because they don't press it. They're looking to cut it back so fast. But this young kid knows how to press the hole, force the linebackers to commit, and then bounce outside, and you can get outside and see if you can make a play. But that's something that takes running backs usually a couple years to figure it out. And I don't know. Look, I don't know who taught this kid in high school, and I have no idea how he made himself to North Texas, why these big schools did not come get him, but he is going to be under assault, you can best believe, in the offseason. They're going to need to work really hard to keep number 24 in that uniform.
Third down after the timeout, 3rd down and 6. Mestamaker trying to put a soft touch on it, but again, blanket coverage. UAB defense coming up, Isaiah Crozier.
That's just really, really good coverage. And when you're in great position like that, you're forcing perfection from the quarterback and the route runner. More often than not, perfection is not what you're going to get. And Mestamaker just had to throw that ball out of bounds. That way he doesn't put it in harm's way.
Keep the offense out there, 4th down and 6.
UAB pass rush can help out here.
Line to gain is the 38. And now a timeout for the
UAB
Blazers and
calls
Steve
their
Russ.
first charge time out of the half. It's a 30-second timeout.
So at best, if you're UAB, you want this to be a meaningless play, because this could be a huge play if you're not on the screws and allow a big play with under 30 seconds left to play that would again change the scoreboard when you're already down big in this ball game.
A lot on the line, especially for North Texas. They are in the conversation for the college football playoff. A win keeps them alive. And a tie for first place on a day that saw a start in the American with 5 teams with 1 loss, and then Memphis, a 2-loss Tiger team, clawing at everybody's heels. And then for UAB, it's simple math. 3 games remaining, the race to 6 wins. They need to run the table and become bowl eligible.
Question about that. They've got a couple really good opponents left on their schedule, and obviously none better than this one here today.
Estemaker started today connecting on his first 9 passes, 11 of 17 here on 4th down. A diving catch not made. Popped out as he hit the ground. Unable to reel it in was Miles Coleman. And the Blazers, with a couple of timeouts, will get the ball in good shape and 25 seconds to work.
Yeah, so it was great early protection, and there was some late pressure. But that's a catchable football. You have got to find a way to lay out and make that catch. So now here's an opportunity here if you're UAB. I mean, I think you got to be aggressive here. Think protection first, and you've shown with protection that your receivers can get open against this defense.
Blazers with a real good kicker in Jonah DeLonga, who's hit from 45 this year. Deep drop. Kitna will take a shot down the seam, and Hooks just turned his neck around to try to locate it as it falls incomplete.
Yeah, that's a great throw. I mean, that is a beautiful NFL throw by Jalen Kitna. Right up the seam, and I have no idea how Iverson Hooks didn't catch this football. I mean, that is all good by number 7. And Hooks will be upset at himself when he sees that on tape.
Looked like Hooks was just late turning the head to pick it up.
Yeah, and I like the timing of the throw by Kitna, though, because the pressure was coming. So he threw it a little bit early, but you got to turn around and make that play, locate it and make a play.
They bring a blitz, and they get to Kitna for the second time. He's dropped back at the 33 by Clements. Second time he's been in the backfield, the transfer from Louisville.
6'4", 290-pound sophomore.
UAB
He's active
calls
inside.
their second charge timeout of the half. It's a 30-second timeout.
That's just a great stunt. He lined up at the nose, got a blitzing linebacker. They run a 2-man stunt. He comes around and eats. He'll give you a little dance about it, too. I love it.
Skylar Cassidy relied on his father, Mike, to land Sadiq Clements. Sadiq was part of the Louisville roster the last couple of years. Just wasn't getting on the field a lot. So the moment he entered the transfer portal, Papa Cassidy called son Skylar and said, hey, you got to reach out to this guy.
And that's what the portal does. It gives opportunities for guys like Sadiq Clements. You're not going to get any better sitting on the bench for multiple seasons. And now that has evened the playing field of college football. That's why you see so many quote-unquote upsets. And eventually fans are going to start getting used to these smaller programs beating bigger programs because the talent disparity is getting tighter and tighter.
Third down, this is Jackson, hop skipping through a hole into plus territory. He'll pick up the first down, but the clock expires on the final play of the second quarter. North Texas goes into the break 31-7. They set the tone early. They jumped out to a 21-0 lead before you could blink. Perfect this year when leading at the break as we swing it down to Savannah, who's with Coach Morris.
Coach, Messmaker has been so efficient in the air, and Hawkins is just tearing it up on the ground. How pleased with you are the balance that you've seen from this offense so far today?
Yeah, we were good early. Last couple of drives, we struggled a little bit, so we can't get complacent right now. And so we got to come out and get a stop to start the second half and just continue to do what we've been good at early. I thought we got to get a little complacent late.
Although the UAB offense has stalled at times, they do seem like they're connecting more. But what can the defense do to continue to apply pressure?
Yeah, they've done a great job getting turnovers. So, you know, if you count the 4th down stops, it's 4 turnovers, so we got to continue to take the ball away.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
No team has been better at taking the football away in the American than the Mean Green. 2 more turnovers, an interception, a fumble recovery. As Coach mentioned, a couple of 4th down stops. And then, oh yeah, the freshman Hawkins. Count them up, 4 rushing touchdowns. Steve Austin's celebration has been prevalent. Mean Green at the break.
Welcome into Studio A, I'm Maria Tribalpiece. This week, the American announced Players of the Week in men's and women's basketball, volleyball, and football. We highlight some of the top performers in American's Best. This week's Offensive Player of the Week in volleyball is UAB's Jordan Crook. Crook led the Blazers to a pair of wins, averaging 5 kills per set while hitting .329 on the week. She also added 1 block per set to increase her points per set to a conference high 5.64 points per set on the week. The Player of the Week in women's basketball is South Florida's Eden Battle. Battle led the Bulls to a pair of wins over FIU and LIU, averaging a conference-best 20 points per game while shooting 47.2% from the field. She added 5 rebounds and 3 assists per game. The men's basketball Player of the Week is Tulane's Rowan Brumbaugh. Brumbaugh helped lead the Green Wave to its 4th consecutive 2-0 start by averaging 22.5 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals in wins over Samford and Texas State. The redshirt junior posted 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 steals in the season-opening win over Samford last Monday night before dropping 33 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds in a come-from-behind win over Texas State on Saturday. Football's Defensive Player of the Week is South Florida's Jarvis Lee. Lee played a crucial role in 2 defensive touchdowns to start the game for the Bulls. His blitz pressure on the first play of the game forced an errant throw, resulting in a pick 6. On the next drive, his strip sack resulted in an 85-yard touchdown. For more on the Player of the Week honors, you can visit our website at theamerican.org. Keep it right here. We have more coming up for you on ESPN+.
Thanks, Maria. Coming up soon is the second half here in Birmingham. But before that, we're going to check out the American Conference top plays of the week.
Welcome into Studio A. I'm Maria Tribalpiece. Picking top plays was a little bit difficult this week because crossover season has begun, but with that being said, here's what we went with. We'll start on the football field. South Florida taking on UTSA. Pay attention to the Bulls' defense. They've been very good this season. That's Jarvis Lee with the hard hit. The ball pops out. Fred Gaskin picks it up. runs it the length of the field for a touchdown. We have some men's soccer for play number 4, FIU and Missouri State. Ball bounces around, but it's Alfonso Soriano who finds the back of the net. As we said, it's crossover season and basketball is back. North Texas and Loyola Chicago. Loyola Chicago tying it up 62-62, but the Mean Green are not done yet. They'll dribble this ball the length of the basketball court. Dylan Arnett at the buzzer. He makes it. North Texas wins this one. The American Women's Soccer Championship did not disappoint. This is the quarterfinals matchup between Memphis and East Carolina. Juliana Vieira knocks that ball away. No goal for the Tigers. Our number 1 play also comes from women's soccer. This is the championship match. UTSA and Rice. Bree Kerrigan with the ball makes a move. In overtime, will she score? She does! The Roadrunners are American Conference champions. If you see a top play this week, make sure you use the hashtag American Top Plays on social. Keep it right here. We have more coming up for you after this.
It's halftime here between the Mean Green and Blazers. When we come back, the guys up in the booth will take a look at some out-of-town scores. Don't go anywhere. Second half action continues soon here in Birmingham. We'll be right back.
All North Texas here at the break. Alongside Tioka Jackson, Sean Kenny. 31-7. North Texas built a 28-0 lead. They lead by 24 at the intermission on a key day across the American. We started today with 5 teams atop with just 1 loss. Well, Navy cements their case. A huge win for the midshipmen at home. South Florida suffers their 2nd conference loss.
Yeah, and so, I mean, that's a huge, huge win for the midshipmen, but I don't think South Florida is completely out at this point. You know, it kind of looks like elimination game, but not quite. You know, you may have a 2-loss team in the championship game, but wow, hats off to Navy.
Navy now at 6-1. North Texas. Column. North Texas out in front of UAB as we get ready to start the 3rd quarter. Alongside Savannah Collins, Tioka Jackson, Sean Kenny with you from beautiful Protective Stadium here in Birmingham, Alabama. Just a gorgeous day for football, and Eric Morris and North Texas certainly looking the part. One of the teams that a lot of the country is talking about as possible college football playoff team, and they have done the job here so far. Once again, Sean Kenny, Tioka Jackson with you. And Tioka, you look back at this first half, North Texas really set the tone. We started the broadcast with a team that's playing loose and having a lot of fun, and the first quarter certainly indicated that.
Yeah, they got off to a lightning fast start, but that's something they've been doing all year, and it was led by the freshman. I mean, he is an outstanding player. They leaned on him early, and it's because their ability to run the football that they're so tough to defend in this air raid offense.
You look at the numbers, 274 for North Texas, 242 for the Blazers. Javon Jackson, who has the first touch in the second half, 12 carries, 91 yards. So you look at the numbers and you'd say, well, maybe it's a close game, but it's the turnovers and it's the point-off turnovers plus the field goal following the 60-yard kick return by Evans. 2nd down and 8. Kitna fires and making the catches. Hawkins, who has been Kitna's favored target today. 4th catch for Brandon Hawkins. Quentin Hammonds the tackle.
Yeah, yet another NFL throw by Kitna. Just fitting that ball in a tight window. The coverage was where it needs to be. They broke on the football, but because of his velocity on that ball, and they were concerned about, will he have the power in his arm? Well, he's got the power. I mean, that ball is coming in hot and heavy.
First down, and look at Jackson go, and it's a foot race for Javon Jackson. Finally caught at the 5. 58 yards, Davion Armstead with the touchdown-saving tackle.
He was at Austin Peay and productive. He was at UTEP and productive. This guy's been productive, whatever he's been known for his power, but watch this quick move right there. Beautiful job, and there's some acceleration, folks. Now, I told you before, if you just keep calling it, Jackson can make plays.
Now a little tempo from Kitna and the Blazers, but Jackson has stood up. Huddleston in on the tackle, and this is a position, Tioka, they need 6. Down 24 points, and moves like this can get it done.
Now, Sean, I know you got these type of dance moves, okay, but it's much harder to do when you're wearing pads, carrying a football, and you got grown men chasing you. But the quickness and the elusiveness, we knew about the power. He shows that a lot, running inside zone. It's that quickness in the hole that makes him a little bit better than most.
Isaiah Jacobs into the game. He takes the handoff from Burton, and Jacobs is driven back by Weslowski as we check in with Savannah.
Well, I talked to Coach Mortensen coming out of halftime, and he said for an offense to have 242 yards of total yardage in the first half, they've got to convert that into scoring. So it's going to come down to critical downs and being able to convert when they're on 3rd and even 4th.
And they have not been able to convert in the red zone today. Their 3rd trip, still looking for their first points.
And I'll add on top of that, don't beat yourself. 2 turnovers and an untimely penalty cost them at least 14 points in the first quarter. If they don't do that, who knows what's possible.
Both quarterbacks in the game, little tush-push action, and it's Burton over the top. And the touchdown signal finally given. Everybody put on pause when it looked like Burton had crossed the line. And how about this start? The big run that Jackson ripped off, and UAB trying to claw their way back in.
But once again, no penalties and no turnover. And so if you just take those drives out, has North Texas defensively really stopped UAB? I mean, you could say the turnover on downs is the one true stop by this defense. Otherwise, they need to play better. As you see, UAB lining up for 2.
Kicking it back in under center from the shotgun. The Blazers trying to pick up the 2-point conversion. Start chasing points early in the second half. Double move. Kitna lets her fly. Wide open. Planted back of the end zone. Hawkins. And a 2-point conversion.
So as bad as this was, and it was really bad, folks, early, and you see Kitna coming off, and you got some life now on the sidelines of the Blazers. But as bad as this was, great start to the second half by this offense. You see Kitna getting pushed over. At a 2-point conversion, it is a 2-score game, folks. Don't go anywhere.
This is the American on ESPN. A picture-perfect day from Birmingham. It's getting a little bit tighter. North Texas 31, UAB 15. Alex Mortensen watched his offense set the tone. Very first drive of the second half. Javon Jackson setting up a Ryder Burton 1-yard touchdown run. And just like that, following the 2-point conversion, a 2-possession game.
See the Blazers do defensively what North Texas did defensively in the first quarter. You recall, North Texas went right down the field and scored with the opening possession. Defense came out, caused a turnover, got the offense the ball again. They went right back down and scored. Now here's a situation for the Blazers to do that, whether that's with a turnover or maybe even a 3-and-out. Can they capitalize now on this momentum coming out of the locker room to get themselves in this ball game?
Simeon Evans from his own 7-yard line. Evans for the second time into the clear, slips by the kicker, and Evans, an explosive return all the way to the UAB 47-yard line.
And it was Mean Green head coach Eric Morris who was worried about the return game of the Blazers. See Evans now, as you talked about, this is the second time he's gotten loose, and this is just excellent blocking. He's untouched to the kicker, folks. And that is beautiful execution of a right or left return, and I like how he didn't allow the kicker to finish that off, broke that tackle, and was able to get a few more yards.
Evans, a former quarterback in his high school days, actually started his career at West Point, one of the quarterbacks Army utilized, and now Hawkins picks up where he left off into the secondary. Hawkins barreling all the way to the 31, a pickup of 18.
And when you spread the defense out like that, you're going to have a light box. And so this was always going to be about, could this defense of the Blazers slow down the running game of Hawkins and company with a light box? And as you see, a hat on the hat. There's no defender in the hole. When you're playing with 6 men, this is what happens.
First down, back-to-back touches for number 24. Runs off the back of his blocker and just keeps the legs going. Ran in the back of Johnny Dickinson as we check in with Savannah.
Well, I can just hear defensive coordinator Steve Rush trying to convince his defense before they took the field that they got to have belief right here, telling them all it takes is one play. Look for the opportunity to turn this game around. We are in this. And it comes back to what he told us coming into this week. These players can be inundated with negativity, but it's getting them to believe in the things that they can do positively to change the course of a game.
They took it on the chin early, but they started to show some belief in the second quarter. But for the second time today, the long kick return has them pinned against their own corner here as Hawkins moves the sticks, a first down. North Texas close to the red zone. Throw it out to the flat, keeping his balance, propelling up ahead, twisting his way inside the 10, still on his feet. Wyatt Young, 13 yards. Roy Williams finally drives him down, but not before familiar duo sets up the Mean Green first and goal.
Yeah, he looked like his idol, Amon-Ra St. Brown there. It's just a determination and not willing to go down. If you want to get him on the ground, you're going to have to chest him up, grab cloth, and bring your arms because he's not looking to go down like so many receivers are.
Big day for Young, 6 catches, 128 yards. First and goal, they will throw at Young with his 7th catch inside a block, and he dances in. Touchdown, North Texas.
That almost looked like practice, partner. The blocking on the outside of these wide receivers was textbook. And I want fans at home to take a look at this. Watch when this ball is thrown and Young comes up, and there's nobody getting off blocks, folks. I mean, that's like Velcro in the jersey. The defenders were mad thinking they were being held. I didn't see a hold, but that's just tremendous stalk blocking by the wide receivers.
Co-offensive coordinator and wide receiver coach Jordan Davis told us this wide receiver room is as close as he's really ever been around, and Landon Sides that time throwing the key block for Wyatt Young. 8th touchdown catch of the year for Young. North Texas answers.
Welcome back to Birmingham, where North Texas leads 38-15. Look at the blocking by Landon Size and number 6, Trey Williams. That is as easy a touchdown as Wyatt Young will score all year, I promise you. And that's just two guys defensively getting X'd off the field. And Tariq Watson, number 24 for UAB, is frustrated, but you got to get off the block if you want to make a play.
Wyatt Young on a roll is third time that he has eclipsed the century mark in the last 4 games. The connection that he has built with Drew Mestamaker, and again, Young has only been playing wide receiver for a couple of years.
Just think about that. We former quarterback, and we asked him that, playing quarterback help you as a wide receiver, and of course it does. Understanding what Drew Mestamaker is seeing, understanding how defensive backs play from a different position, from a different point of view. The sky's the limit for this young player as well.
Second offensive series of the third quarter for the Blazers as they run into the pile over the right side. 3 yards on first down.
Nice job by Zaylen Scott. Cheston Jackson up in the hole. Another good look at Drew Mestamaker, and all the attempts, though, just not to throw it to the other guy, right? Just to keep possession of the football. So efficient.
Second down 7. It's the tight end, Elijah Lag, with his second catch of the day. David Fisher knocking down the junior, the former offensive lineman from back in his high school days in Arkansas. In fact, he wears number 17 to remind him of how he was an offensive lineman because he wore number 71 back in the day.
I like it. Those days are over. 6'4", 240, but that helps him in his inline blocking, though, understanding steps, angles, and you got an innate toughness if you're a former offensive lineman, as you see UAB go quick.
They're down and short. Kitna will move the chains easily as he hopped onto the back of his center, Adam Lepkowski. And Ioki, you look at this offensive line. They brought in Caleb Perez from the transfer portal a couple of years ago, the transfer from Duke. Brandon Snee arrived this past summer after spending the spring at Kansas State. Then they have some young guys at center and right tackle.
And they've shown up. The availability of this line is really special. One of 12 programs that have all of their offensive linemen start every game. And you can best believe that means a lot. And they've been really good, especially in pass pro today.
Too bad opening up holes either. Play action. Kitna wanted to go deep. Checks down and making the catch. Daisy will take it to the 42-yard line. Good job by the offensive line, giving Kitna to check down. And his third choice was Xavier Daisy.
Yeah, you talked about it. You wanted to go deep, and that's the discipline that it takes to move to the next level. We know you've got the arm. I saw him in week 3. This might have been a throw he would have attempted. Watch him come off now and go through his progression. That's an excellent job of not trying to be selfish and go big play hunting. Take what the defense gives you. That old saying, you'll never go broke taking a profit, and that's what Kitna did right there.
Previous play is under further review for targeting.
So enamored by Kitna's ability to go through his possession, I missed possible targeting hit. You see Daisy looks a little woozy.
Xavier Daisy started to get some serious looks when Corey Milliner was suspended. Let's see if there is targeting here on the Blazer in green.
So the first thing is he's now a runner, so he's no longer a defenseless player. And so now you have to have some indicators. You got to have a launch, and you got to have crown of the helmet. Also contact to the head. And I saw some contact to the head there. So that part of it is there. There's no question.
But was it a from Trey Fields?
Yeah.
I'm sure that's the player they're keeping an eye on right here.
No, and that is where this thing gets really close. I think it's safe to say that it was not crown of the helmet, for sure. There was helmet contact, but whether that was a launch, man, that is very close. It looks like he was trying to go in with his shoulder. It looks like he was intending to go in with his shoulder. So if I look at it again, I'll probably come up with another answer. because it was so close. But I'm thinking right now that probably doesn't rise to the level of targeting, but it is extremely
After
close.
further review, there is no foul for targeting. First down.
So, I mean, look, I've been wrong a lot on that call, and it is very tough, very subjective.
You aren't the only one.
Right. And this is a call that we've seen get called less and less every year because they understand how hard it is to play defense. But I think the key was there. He caught the football and began to run. He's no longer a defenseless player, and that makes it a lot easier now for the defense to come in and make a tackle.
Tough news for UAB is that Daisy is still in the tent, feeling the effects of the big hit by Fields. 21 yards in the completion. Daisy 4 catches, 50 yards today, first down. Play fake. Kitten has time, steps up over the middle, and it's incomplete. Hooks begging for a penalty, and he gets it. Will Jones was locked in a battle with Iverson Hooks.
Hooks was asking for that call immediately. We'll see what the officials talk about and tell us. They've been holding.
It's interference. Defense number 0. Foul. Automatic first down.
It's a little double zero competition right there. 0 versus 0. 0 and green wins. It's just running a bench route. And, you know, that contact wasn't horrible, but it was after the ball was thrown. You cannot contact the wide receiver when the ball's in the air after 5 yards. That's just the bottom line. So while there wasn't a whole lot there, that is pass interference.
Gives Kitten the ball at the 28 on the slant. A little bit too low, unable to dig it out. It was good coverage by Armstead. Iverson Hooks.
A lot of contact again, and that's what Hooks is complaining about. But you know what, though? When you're a star receiver, you're the best receiver on the team, the defense is trying to stop you. They're going to do whatever it is that it takes, and you're not the biggest guy. So they say, let's get real physical with Hooks and see if he likes it. So he just understands that's what's going to have to happen over his career. He's going to have to be physical at the catch point as he makes more and more big plays because they're going to try to figure out what we can do to slow him down.
Keep an eye out on BB. He's at the top of the field, and a miscommunication between the tight end Lag and Kitna. Lag had not even turned his head around, and that ball nearly intercepted by the 7th-year player Will Jones.
And Will Jones should be scoring a touchdown right now. There's no business that ball ended up on the ground, and I don't know if he got in the sun. Maybe it was the sun that distracted him, but this ball was pretty much thrown right to him. And I think he expected that ball to be more accurate and coming out of Kitten's hands as it usually is. So that ball ate him up really quickly, but that's a catch he can make, and if he did, again, he would have scored a touchdown.
Jones has played a lot of football, 2 years at Kansas State, 3 years at USF, the last year at Old Dominion. Now here he is for North Texas. Pressure comes, and again, the throw falls incomplete. They were looking for Hooks. It was B.J. Allen, the junior, the 2nd-year player for North Texas.
Yeah, first of all, great pickup of the blitz. Saw North Texas added a defender to their rush, but I thought B.J. Allen was early. I thought he came through the back of the receiver and had an opportunity there to throw that flag on Hooks.
Back-to-back plays by Jones and Allen, the 2 safeties. Hooks frustrated as he leaves the field. That sets up a DeLonga field goal. 45 yards, and it is good. Jonah DeLonga has been a reliable weapon all year for the Blazers. North Texas leading by 20.
Introducing SportsCenter for you, personalized every single day. Now available on the ESPN app. Powered by your favorites.
Texas 8-1 on the season, one of the teams in line, a conversation to be the G5 rep in the college football playoffs. A day that saw Navy take down USF, handing the Bulls their second loss in the American. Navy stays in the front run with the one loss, but they have played one more game, so they're ahead of everybody in the win column. UAB does not kick it to Simeon Evans, who has torched them twice today on kick returns.
Yeah, smart. I mean, we've seen enough of that. Okay, you proved it now. Let's go to something else, and I like the execution of the pooch punt. Didn't kick it out of bounds and kicked it high enough to force a fair catch. So job well done there by the entire unit.
And an interesting path to Denton, Texas for Drew Mestemaker, who had to walk on to the program. In fact, it was a phone call from one of Eric Morris's longtime friends, Jeff Christensen, who should be a familiar name to many folks who follow football. He has worked with some of the best quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield, Patrick Mahomes. He has worked with him directly as they get some space to work off to the side, and a good game for North Texas to Terrence Lewis. We got our first glimpse of Mestemaker last year after Chandler Morris hit the transfer portal. He was in action in the First Responders Bowl, and he was putting up numbers like he has this season.
Sometimes you're so young, you don't even realize how big an opportunity you get. You just go in and play. He came in the bowl game and was diming people up, and he hasn't looked back since.
Just an amazing journey. So Jeff Christensen calls Eric Morris, says, hey, we have this guy. Do you have a spot on your roster for a walk-on opportunity? Do you mind taking a look at him? And Eric Morris said, yeah, sure. Send me the tape. And there was a little bit of a pause in the phone call, and he says, well, that's the catch. There's no tape. He hasn't played quarterback since his freshman year when he was a B-team quarterback.
Unbelievable. One of the best things about the guy, and there's a lot of things I like, especially taking care of the football, but one of the best things I like about him is he makes the routine play. So often, young quarterbacks especially, with talent, they can make spectacular plays every now and then, but it's the routine play that they sometimes screw it up. And he takes pride in making the routine plays, because those routine plays stacked on top of each other is really what the playing the position is all about.
3rd down and 4. Mestemaker floating right, just dumps it off, and he's going to hit Hawkins out of the backfield. This is the part of the game we haven't seen from Hawkins. He's a very good pass catcher as we check in with Savannah.
Well, Tayoka, like you were talking about how Mestemaker always makes the routine plays, I think that comes back to what Coach Morris told us about. He's not fazed by much. He's so consistent. In fact, after the loss that they faced this season, they realized he has no fear of failure. So I think that's the contributor when you talk about he makes the big and regular plays.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, every great player I've been around, they never feared failure. They just focused on success. And that really does a mindset that I think you're going to get a penalty here against UAB.
They swing it out. This is the speedster Miles Coleman.
Legal substitution situation. This is, again, how North Texas started the game with this tempo.
Illegal substitution, 12 men on defense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
When this offense is clicking, they make it look effortless.
They really do. I mean, because first of all, it's so well designed. And I said it earlier. This is a quarterback-friendly offense.
1st down.
What do I mean by that? It's an offense that allows options and answers to what the defense is doing. There's always 1 or 2 opportunities to get the ball out of your hands and get it out quickly. The question is, can your athletes create separation with these short passes? Make people miss one-on-one, and that's the type of receivers they have. And then when you want to push the ball downfield, you have a quarterback with the arm strength to do it. A lot of times in these offenses that spread you out horizontally, they don't require big arms to be successful. They require quick decision makers. Well, in this young Mr. Mestemaker, you've got a guy with a nice arm, nice legs, and a very, very fast computing brain.
Second down and goal. They will hand it off. Hawkins looking for number 5, and he slices his way in. Touchdown, Caleb Hawkins.
Have yourself a day, young man. Unbelievable. I don't know if you had Hawkins on your college fantasy team. I don't even know if they have college fantasy, but if they don't, I'm starting one next year, and that's going to be my first pick right there, number 24. Look at the patience, though. Zone blocking on the outside zone blocking. The offensive line wants to take the defense wherever they wants to go because they feel like the running back is going to make the right choice. He puts his outside foot in the ground and runs to daylight. See this offense now lining up for 2 to get this thing back on schedule.
8 plays, 75 yards. A little more than 3 minutes off the game clock, and Eric Morris has his mean green back up comfortably in a quarter that, quite frankly, has turned into a little bit of a track meet. Stops are a premium right now.
If I'm the offense of the mean green, I'm looking to get the ball to Caleb Hawkins again. He's getting close to some sort of scoring record, I'm sure.
Split backs, that's Sibley in motion, and the flag flies.
False start. Offense number 70. 5-yard penalty. Retry.
You know, we talk a lot about Hawkins, and deservedly so, but let's not forget this offensive line. The bye week really helped them. Gabe Blair was beat up. Tay Yonta, center, who was guilty on that last infraction, he was beat up. Both those guys able to heal the body a little bit, and it certainly has paid off today. Still keep the offense out there for the 2-point conversion, and they connect. Wyatt Young toe dragging in the back of the end zone. 2 more for North Texas, who has put up a whopping 46, and we still have 3 minutes plus in this third quarter.
I'm really glad that you brought up the offensive line, because that was a great look at how you create time for your quarterback. Just a great job of not allowing anybody pierce that pocket. You go back to the touchdown, outside zone, and cuts it all the way back. So again, the offensive line taking their defenders and running them wherever they want to go. They want to be wrong because you expect Hawkins to press the hole front side, which is the outside, and then cut it backside. Just a great job of doing it. And again, talked about this offense and how it has evolved from your dad's air raid to add the running component, which makes them a lot tougher to stop. Eric Morris said, we took, what has been run on air raid, throwing the football down the field, especially deep, and then we added some run concepts from the old Denver Broncos with their zone blocking ability. This is just a great combination. If you don't have a dominant front, dominant defensive line that can control the run game with 5.5, 6 people, you're going to really struggle because it's going to spread you out and make you make decisions with your safety. And if you bring the safety down and want to begin to stop Caleb Hawkins, which I understand why you would, well, good luck and forget about it, because Wyatt Young is going to be one-on-one. Drew Mestemaker's a complete baller at the quarterback position.
Hawkins joins Washington's Jonah Coleman as the only 2 players this year in college football to rush for 5 touchdowns in a game. UAB and UNT sniffing that one out, gang tackling on Javon Jackson. The offense has been performing at a peak level, but you need a defense if you're going to represent the G5 in the college football playoff, and Skylar Cassidy has this defense playing pretty good football today.
No question about it. They produce a lot of turnovers. That's one of the huge things. You force turnovers at a high rate with an offense like this. Is the extra possessions for your offense, and that's extra points for your team.
Kitna on second down. Look at the catch there by Iverson. That's what you call a hands catch. Strong vice clams from Iverson. Hooks and a first down.
I like that. Now, that's the type of physicality I want to see from Hooks. We know he's an electric player in the open field. We know he can run routes and create separation with his quickness. But at 5'10", 175, when the defender is draped on him, can he still make the catch? See, that's what I like to see, because he has an opportunity to be an NFL slot receiver. There's no question about it. He's got the quickness to do it. but he's going to have to make contested catches very often because in the NFL, those guys are good.
Took a page out of North Texas's Wyatt Young. He had not played receiver until he reached the college level as they reach into the bag of tricks with Jalen Elder, the true freshman from Madison, Georgia. Trey Fields, he's brought it on a couple of plays today. The hard-hitting senior with the pop.
Yeah, you can reach into your trick bag all you want, but you better get number 6 blocked.
Timeout.
And you're counting on him not to hustle. Watch this missile come from inside out and deliver a big shot. That's the type of hustle it takes to play really good defense, and more often than not, that's the type of hit that'll create a turnover opportunity.
David Fisher down, being attended to. Starting cornerback who transferred in from Sam Houston.
See the North Texas team locking arms to show some solidarity and support for one another and obviously their teammate on the field.
Well, they attend to Fisher. Don't forget the American on ESPN Plus is home to 40-plus college football games, more than 1,000 exclusive live events, and every American Conference championship throughout the season. For more information and to sign up, visit stream.espn.com.
Good to see Fisher walking off under his own power. Sean, I like to see that now.
He's been active today. David Fisher with his first interception, wearing the green and white of North Texas. Picked off Burton early in this football game. One of 2 takeaways for the UNT defense. He'll be replaced by Colin Lewis. Hand the ball off and trying to jigsaw his way to any type of space as Isaiah Jacobs. Evan Jackson lassoed him down.
Jacobs showed us a little wiggle right there. He's the bigger back, 5'10", 220. So he usually makes his money inside the tackles, but he showed some ability now to bounce outside. I like that play. Nice vision and some quick feet there.
He is a leader, multi-year captain for UAB, and a guy who has persevered back-to-back seasons cut short because of injuries.
Mind running it again in this situation. 4 down territory.
3rd down, Kitna. That one sailed on him. Ethan Day, transfer from Wyoming, getting tangled up with one of the UAB offensive linemen, and a 4th down for Kitna in this offense.
Yeah, that just got away from him. Did a nice job of going through his progressions. The protection was good enough, but like you said, that ball just sailed on him. They're lucky it didn't create a turnover.
7th start of the year for Jalen Kitna, who's been banged up the last few weeks. 18 of 29 in his return to action for 201 yards. 4th down, Kitna near side. It's caught. And the drive stays alive as once again it's Iverson Hooks. Quentin Hammonds the coverage.
Like how Hooks got to his spot and sat down in that zone, understanding that he's running past the sticks to get 1st down yardage. And so this is timing. Back foot hits, steps up, delivers it. That's really good timing. We saw some earlier throws where the timing wasn't there with the receivers, and now that throw and catch combination is starting to settle down, especially with Hooks.
It's a deep receiving room for Kitna, and he is spreading the wealth today. Hawkins, Daisy, Hooks all with 4 catches. Went to the tight end a couple of times as well. Comeback pattern is caught. Good to see Daisy back out there after he left and went into the tent following the hit from Trey Fields.
Sean, you know your football, don't you? Called that route out perfectly. Nice job of driving the defender off. Daisy coming out of the tent, showing he's still ready to roll. Drive the defender off, put his foot in the ground, and come back to the football. And if the timing of the throw is where it needs to be, that's almost indefensible.
Both offenses rolling in the 3rd quarter, and this is a position, if you're UAB, you do not want to be in. Eric Morris perfect in his time in Denton when they march to the 4th with the lead. North Texas did not waste any time. They jumped out to a quick 28-0 lead right now as they get ready to go into the fourth quarter. 46-18, they lead it over UAB. Alex Mortensen, he has spent some time with some of the best in the coaching ranks. Spent 9 years alongside Nick Saban at Alabama, and he had the opportunity to work with some tremendous quarterbacks. Take a look at this list. Jalen Hurts, Tua, Mac Jones, Bryce Young, who's getting the job done this year.
Money on that list, isn't it?
Now he has the opportunity to work with Ketna, who lobs it downfield. Good coverage, broken up by Davion Armstead. He was looking for Daisy, and for the second time today, Daisy is down.
Terrific play by Armstead. So we hope Davy gets up and walks off like he did the first time. Always love it when the opposing team's medical staff comes over and checks on a player before the opposing side gets there.
Ineligible player downfield, offense number 70. That penalty is declined. Second down.
Looks like he landed on his shoulder, partner. Now, what I did see earlier, though, was Armstead got away with a grab at the top of that route. So that should have been pass interference.
Timeout for injured player on the sideline.
But I think that Daisy landed on that shoulder.
Timeout on the field.
Flag instead is on John Darius Morgan for creeping downfield. Good to see Daisy pop up. We'll be back with more after this. Savannah Collins, Tioka Jackson, Sean Kenny, welcoming you back to Protective Stadium here in Birmingham. A beautiful Saturday afternoon.
And that's what I saw you do after your workout this morning. You took your shirt off, twisted it around like a helicopter, just like these young fellas are doing.
I did that when I conquered the buffet late last night. Second down and 10 after the injury timeout. They will hand the ball off straight up the center. Surging ahead for 2 to the 31-yard line. Jacobs, the ball carrier.
Been really impressed with this Blazer offense once they got going. I talked about it over and over. What can you do when you don't beat yourself and shoot yourself in the foot. And they've shown they can move the football and get points.
This has been one of their better days running the football. 164 yards on the ground. Pretty balanced attack for UAB. 229 through the air. John Jackson having his biggest game since the season opener in the win against Alabama State.
So Antonio Ferguson a lot hobbling off the field.
Tight end room's beat up a little bit right now for UAB. Kitna's going to step up. He'll throw on the run. Look at the soft touch, Brandon Hawkins.
Yeah, that's just beautiful work. The pocket awareness. So there's the ability to scramble, there's the ability to run, and then there's pocket awareness to manipulate yourself within the pocket. Watch him feel it. He's not looking at the rush, folks. He's feeling the rush, eyes downfield, and like you said, throwing a very catchable football to Hawkins Jr.
Trip into the red zone. Kitna will rifle it, and turning the wrong way was Jalen Elder. Some young receivers in there. No Corey Milliner today. Saw Xavier Daisy leave the lineup, so young guys like Elder thrust into the line of fire.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because Elder uncovered. And I have no idea who screwed that up, but Elder went to the corner, and Kitna thought he was going to come and break to the post. As you see, he had created some really nice space, and if they had been on the same page and see the reaction from Kitna, that would have been a touchdown. True freshman Elder might have had his first touchdown of his career.
Keep an eye on the matchup at the top of the screen. Iverson Hooks working on Colin Lewis. That's the direction they're going to go, and Lewis was up for the challenge. In there for the injured David Fisher.
5'11", 185-pound sophomore Lewis, and that is not an easy cover. We've seen Iverson Hooks beat multiple people today. Love the arm bar by Hooks, very subtle, didn't push off, just created a little bit of space. And that ball was just a little too far outside to make it happen.
3rd down and 10 for Jalen Kitna, and we have flags all over the place.
Offside. Defense number 90. 5-yard penalty. Down.
Ethan Day, the transfer they brought in from Wyoming, and he's been a pivotal addition.
Yeah, pass rusher, tied for the lead in sacks with Huddleston trying to get a jump on that football, and that's a nice, smart play by Elijah Lagg. When your defender gets into the red zone, or excuse me, the neutral zone, you just move and force the officials to call offsides.
Eric Morris was so impressed with Day last year when North Texas played Wyoming. That's how he ended up on the radar, somebody who had played the last 2 years in Laramie and ended up at North Texas. In fact, there was a photograph up in the coach's room that Morris had of one of his running backs, and in the background it's Day chasing down the North Texas runner, so he had him autograph it.
That's cool. Great story.
4th and a yard for UAB.
What do you do here? Do you lean on Javon Jackson, who really hasn't been stopped? Or do you put it in Kitna's hands? I think you run the football.
They go Kitna, and he stretches the ball ahead, and judging by our line judge who comes in with the spot,
it's close though.
It is going to be close.
And I'm wondering, did he try to spot that ball too early? I thought Kitna reached that thing over before the forward progress had been stopped.
Yeah, they're going to say 1st down. Kitna converts.
Yeah, it was close. I'm not sure it was really that close. Kitna wasn't moving that fast. I thought the forward progress was continuing when we reached that ball over, but, you know, it's a moot point now, 1st down and goal.
They bring in Ryder Burton. Kitna will take a quick break. Burton, who has a little more danger with his feet off that read option, zigzagging in. Boy, he and Isaiah Jacobs knew what to do with it. Touchdown for the multi-year captain.
I love the little eye candy fake by Ryder Burton. Got to be an actor when you're running that read option and you give the football. Watch the action from number 15, quarterback Burton. I still got it. I'm cutting outside. Well, that's just enough hesitation that you need from the guys inside. When the offensive line is getting good push, nice job of finishing that run by Isaiah Jacobs.
He's a player that is really easy to cheer for, everything that he has overcome, and then you look at everything he does for the community, getting it back in there on this 2-point conversion, and this one wide and offline. But Jacobs finds the end zone. Looked a little bit like big brother Josh Jacobs, who's having himself a year at Green Bay, the longtime Raider. The Jacobs brothers, a tight clan and family, and a multi-year captain, something to celebrate here at Protective Stadium. Back-to-back games in which Caleb Hawkins has rushed for 9 touchdowns. Navy, he had 4 this afternoon through more than 3 quarters, 5 rushing touchdowns, and just like that, he catapults to the top of the board when you look at rushing touchdowns this year across the country.
Biggest difference I see on that list is he's the only true freshman on that list. See the outstanding tailback from Notre Dame, Jeremiah Love, who ended my Nittany Lions run last year. It's a really outstanding list, and man, this kid is on it.
North Texas anticipating the onside kick, and there it is, a bouncing ball picked up by the Blazers. And the candle stays lit for UAB, a glimmer of hope as the special teams delivers.
That's how you execute an onside kick. That ball stayed low, and it was gliding across the field and takes the kick right at the inopportune time for North Texas, because watch it stay low and then hop up right at the last second. And I'm just telling you, we've seen bad hops in baseball. That is a bad hop if you're trying to field that ball. I think that was Jalen Holmes, like you said, but that, man, tough ball to handle, but that's a really good job of covering that onside kick. Now UAB's back in business offensively.
We have seen stranger things happen. McDaniel able to scoop it up. Alex Mortensen Playing it aggressively, his cards were forced, and his special teams delivers. And now Kitna wants to go for it all. One-on-one battle. He's looking for hooks. Broken up by Armstead.
They're allowing a lot of contact when the ball's in the air. Armstead is a very physical player, and they believe he's got an NFL future, and I understand why. So often he's in position. The only guy who had a chance to catch that football was Davion Armstead.
Like the play call, though, from Mortensen. You try to get the quick 6 after the momentum play on the onside kick. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Kitna under some pressure, and he is sacked back at the 34-yard line. Right up the gut. It was Huddleston and Ethan Day.
That's a meeting at the quarterback by your 2 top sack artists running a stunt. Kevion Huddleston comes underneath with Day wrapping around, and it was take your pick, but that's now a team leading 5 sacks for Huddleston. This is where this defense loves to live. They get a lead, and they rush the passer in the 4th quarter as well as anybody.
Kozlowski also got a piece of them. They rush 3, keep a couple of spies in. This is Hawkins with some work to do, and Brandon Hawkins gets this really close to a first down. Will be about 2 yards shy. Evan Jackson finally able to corral him.
That play was rushing 3. I don't know why you would. I mean, heck, that 4-man rush is just now starting to heat up. I understand you want to play coverage, but there's no coverage that's any better than a 4-man pass rush collapsing the pocket on the quarterback.
Career day for Hawkins. 6 catches, 127 yards. Confusion for UAB on this 4th down.
I'd call timeout here.
And they're going to have to. Elijah Lag was the tight end.
UAB take their first charge timeout of the half.
Wanting some more answers from the sideline.
It's a 30-second timeout.
This is a good timeout. Alex Mortensen using the timeout. Too important of a play to try to somehow work a little late magic on the home turf, a place that has treated you well this year. 3-1 in the friendly confines of Protective. Kitten in this offense faced with 4th and 2 when we come back. North Texas has been playing with the lead since the opening whistle. Big play here for UAB. If they're going to pull off a comeback late, they must get this 4th down. Where do you go?
Yeah, 4th and a long 2. I don't think you can run this football. So I think you got to take a look at Brandon Hawkins, who's over 100 yards receiving, and also Hooks, who has created some separation. Put the ball in Kitna's hands in the pocket and let him read it out, because he shows he can extend it if he needs to by filling the rush.
All 3 receivers to the right. 4th down and 2 for Kitna. Looking over a 4-man front read option. Hole opens up over the left side. Big block thrown by Brandon Snee. That opened up a lane, and UAB stays on the field with the offense.
That is a really gutsy call. And I understand getting the ball in your best player's hands. I thought 2.5 would be too much. But look at that double team move, and that was a people moving block right there up front, double team wise, with Adam Lepowski and Caleb Perez.
Jackson with a burst of 10.
Putting it on your offensive line. Man.
Brandon Snee making his 35th career start. Kitna with the arm fires it away, and a catch is made by Iverson Hooks, 8 yards to the redshirt sophomore.
So that was an RPO, and that's how you go and attack the football by Iverson Hooks. We talked to him about that, his ability to attack the football, because that was an incompletion that Hooks saved. That ball was going wide, and Hooks showed some really good athletic ability and great hands.
Inside 10 minutes to go. They bring the linebackers on a blitz. Here comes Weslowski chasing Kitna, and he heard the footsteps.
I think that's why you got to stick with that 4-man rush if you're North Texas. Because in this situation now, they're pinning their ears back. They did give up a 1st down on that run, but that keeps the clock rolling. And I don't think anyone believes the Blazers can win this game by running the football. So these pass rushers now in the white jerseys are starting to get after this offensive line because they're a little less concerned about the run in this situation.
Yeah, good point, Tioka. There was some confusion on the chains there, but that completion to Hooks was indeed good enough for a 1st down. So 2nd and 10 here after the incompletion.
I think they're moving too slow, Sean. I think you got to go a little faster than this.
2nd down, they will hand the ball off, and this is Beebe scraping away from 1. And Solomon Beebe with a 1st down run as he is knocked out of bounds by Hammonds.
Well, I'm not saying that North Texas is okay with giving up a run that long for 1st down. What I am submitting to you is that they rather take away the quick strike. If you're going to run the football, just make you do it the hard way and take more time to do it.
Not too many backs escape from Weslowski once he gets his paws on you, but Beebe slippery enough.
He's a Swiss Army knife. When he gets the ball in his hands, he becomes the punt and dynamic kick returner that he is.
UAB can still pick up a 1st down just outside the 10. Kitna looking, still looking. Floats to the sideline and finally just dumps it. He ends up a good 10 yards off to the side. Now, UNT says they came up with the interception along the side, and they did.
My goodness, if he caught that ball, what an amazing catch to get his foot down.
Wow, Will Jones.
This is going to be reviewed, there's no question. But I mean, Kitna's just trying to throw that ball away.
Kitna can't believe it.
And this is a lesson for any young quarterback.
Rolling on the field,
it's
an interception.
Throw it away. No need to try to make it close.
That play is under further review.
Look at this. He's throwing that ball away. Wow. And that's 2 feet, too. And that's Will Jones doing his greatest Michael Jackson on the toes impression. And that is extremely close. Now, he definitely caught the football, and it survived the ground. The question is, did the toes come off the field before he secured the catch? So this is going to take a little bit of time to sort this out. But the takeaway, the coaching point for Kitna is, if you're going to throw it away, throw it away. All you have to do when you're out of the pocket is get the ball beyond the line of scrimmage. You can throw it in the stands. There's no need to make it that close. And obviously it didn't look that close to him when he was on the field, but because of an amazing effort by Will Jones, we're going over replays to see if he actually caught that football. And it is very close. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all if they overturn this, because it looked like maybe at the last frame, the toes may have come off the field as he was securing the actual catch. He's leaning here, he's leaning here. Ooh, that's close. Now, the call on the field is a catch. And so we have to have irrefutable visual evidence that the call in the field was incorrect. That's the question. And if you have any doubt in your mind, the call in the field will stand.
Yeah, I think everybody was in shock. That ball was not thrown out of bounds. It just looked like he was.
After further review, the ruling in the field is upheld. North Texas ball.
Another takeaway for the Mean Green for Will Jones. It is his first interception this year.
Unbelievable. Everybody on the field relaxed, including us, partner, because we thought that ball was being thrown away. Well, one guy didn't relax, and that's Will Jones II. That was one of the best interceptions you're going to see not only all day today, but of the year. And he manipulated the toe tap like he's a receiver, and the victor goes the spoils, right?
The victors go the Stone Cold Steve Austin celebration with the water jugs. Will Jones. So now inside the 1, they will just try to get any type of breathing room, and they won't get much on first down. They go back to Will Jones. He is a nominee for the Jason Witten Man of the Year. Does so much in Denton. Very active with the kids. He will show up at various events. He makes birthday cards for a lot of the kids in foster care. Spends regular time in a nearby hospital visiting some of the kids who are fighting cancer. Really hero to so many. Second down and 10 again from the end zone, and this time a little daylight opens up. Hawkins takes it up past the 5, bringing up a third down.
So just showing another part of his game, being disciplined, running where you're supposed to run in this situation. This is not a situation for trying to hit a home run. This is a situation where you're trying to get as many yards as you possibly can, but number 1, 2, and 3, ball security. You can best believe the guys in the green jerseys are trying to pull the football out of the hands of young Mr. Caleb Hawkins, and he's doing a great job of not letting it happen.
Baker on third down today, 5 of 8 for the Mean Green. Third down and 4.
Now, Drew needs to be very smart with this football. I'm not even sure they should pass it.
And they will not. They keep it on the ground, and a first down run and then some for Hawkins. Down the near sideline, makes a cut, carries a defender with him, still on his feet, finally drugged down at the 41.
Do you believe yet? I told you he's probably the best freshman running back in America, and he's showing you every reason why. Gets the first down. Now he's getting greedy. Ball security high and tight, stays in bounds, cuts it back, and if you're not going to tackle me, you're going to attack the football, you're coming for a ride, buddy. Continue to be so impressed, but again, the offensive line, great job of opening up a hole against a defense who knows you're going to run it. That's the mark of a terrific offensive line. When the entire stadium knows exactly what you're trying to do, and you do it to them anyway, that's big league.
51 yards for Hawkins.
Now the clock is becoming an extra defender against the UAB Blazer defense and offense. If you were able to get that third down situation squared away and force a punt, you weren't in bad shape. But now the team that usually plays with really good tempo in North Texas, they're going to slow it down, bleed this clock, and suffocate this team.
Maker today, 16 of 23, 260 yards, running this offense. Quick screen out to Wyatt Young, who has had another 100-yard effort on the edge. The sophomore from Katy, Texas. Third down and 3 coming up.
And the blocking on these tunnel screens. Where's the defender getting off the block? I don't see it. At least until the reception is made and the ball has gotten 7 yards or 6 yards downfield.
Coming into today for Young, he had 27 catches for over 400 yards over the past 4 weeks. Back-to-back 100-yard games against UTSA and Charlotte. He's added another one today. Maker is going to keep it. And he will be cut down shy of the first down. And for more on Wyatt, we swing it back down to Savannah.
I think what's so crazy about Wyatt Young is he's only played 2 years at the wide receiver position, and OC Jordan Davis was telling us about how his confidence has really just bloomed, and it really came down to him realizing just how good he is, and that's something that's developed over the course of the season, and it shows up in the way he plays now. He carries himself so differently now that he's settled in to being a wide receiver.
He's been targeted 9 times today, 8 catches for 143 for Young.
4th down situation now. See the timeout being called by the Mean Green.
North Texas takes their first charge time out of the half. It's a 30-second timeout.
Look at what he has been able to do, as Savannah talked about, just 2 years playing the receiver position. 18 catches in his first run at it, just has exploded in his second year, entering today the Americans leader with 7 touchdown receptions, and has added 1 more to that tally today.
Yeah, and we're calling it 2 years. It hasn't been quite a full 2 years. It's 1 and change. And just think of this. He's a true sophomore. You got Caleb Hawkins, true freshman. And Mestamaker is a redshirt freshman. So the heart of your offense has a long way to go, which means their arrows are pointing up. They're just going to get better from here. This is one of the most prolific offenses in all of the country right now. And your 3 best players are just scratching the surface of what they can become. So really the biggest thing if you're North Texas is, how do you make sure that they continue to be North Texas Mean Green players?
It's the $1 million question in this era of college football. 4th and short. Nobody better than Hawkins to make sure you get the yard needed. Josh Baca, transfer from Kent State, in on the stop.
This is just a straight dive inside against a defense that isn't quite the same as it was earlier in this 4th quarter, understanding what's happened to them. The fire is just not quite burning as bright as it was. The play count is starting to add up, and just becoming tougher and tougher to play defense, especially against the run.
Take a shot. He's looking for Dorner, who makes the catch, and an exclamation point for the Mean Green. Touchdown, Cameron Dorner. My goodness.
Now, you remember I made the comparison between this team and the Greatest Show on Turf team. Well, this call right here by head coach Eric Morris is a lot like Mike Martz, my former coach at the Rams. They called him Mad Mike for a reason.
Defensive player.
To go play action and throw this football in this situation when the clock is on your side is diabolical. But I love every bit of it, and that's why this team is so much fun to watch, and the players love playing for them. It is all gas, all the time, no breaks.
How about that throw? He had a defender in his face.
Yeah, that's called throwing a guy open, because the receiver didn't really uncover, but he put that ball where it needed to be put, where only his guy could catch it, and that was a terrific catch. It wasn't easy.
Jasir Peterson, the injured Blazer. 5th time this year that North Texas has went up and beyond and over the 50-point threshold.
When you put 50-plus on the scoreboard, you're not going to lose a lot of games, partner. I mean, I don't care who you're playing against.
Cameron Dorner, for a brief time at Shepherd, the Division II program, he was a 2-sport athlete. He was so good in all the sports growing up in high school, but he made the decision to switch from basketball to football, and dream come true to play at the FBS level, and dreams are becoming a reality for Caleb Hawkins. What a day. 5 rushing touchdowns from 1, 4, 11, 8, and 5 yards this afternoon.
Another reference to the Greatest Show on Turf. When I was in St. Louis, we had tremendous athletes all over the field, Hall of Fame players, Hall of Fame quarterback and receivers, but Marshall Faulk was the key. He was what made our team indefensible because of his versatility in the run and pass game, his ability to block and pick up blitzes, and that's what young Caleb Hawkins is. Look, I'm not saying he's Marshall Faulk. I'm not. No one is. But his role in this offense is Marshall Faulk-like in that he creates the mismatch because he can run the football inside and outside, and he's a threat to catch it, as we saw earlier today as well.
Hawkins has scored 16 touchdowns in 9 games. And Tioka, another point to it all. This is a running back. You see those numbers, you would think, okay, it's an academy. It's a run-heavy offense. Welcome to college football and the air raid in 2025. The air raid.
Yeah, because people just don't think of the air raid as having the ability to run the football, but they do because they spread you out defensively. And so you're always going against light boxes. And so if your offensive line understands who to block and understand where the ball is supposed to hit, you're going to have a chance. Now, most air raid offenses don't have a Cadillac running the football because most running backs don't want to be in it unless they're going to catch it. Well, this situation is a unique deal because they got a first-rate runner and a first-rate offense that spreads you out, and he's getting a lot of open space to run, and you've seen how tough he is to tackle inside and outside.
Beebe with the catch for 3. When we asked Eric Morris about the evolution of the air raid, you know, this is a coach when he was a player at Texas Tech. He played for head coach Mike Leach. The offensive coordinator was Dana Holgerson. Sonny Dykes was on that staff for the Red Raiders. The receivers coach was Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, that's air raid royalty right there, right? Just take a little piece of everybody and what they're doing and just put it together. Also add Art Burroughs in there and what he was doing in Baylor.
Yeah, he incorporated a lot of that at Incarnate Word in his previous stop as a head coach. And you know, Bryles, the master of the outside zone. You talked about it earlier, Tioka, with Oklahoma and Lincoln Riley, and Bill beat a ball with counter after counter, and he's blended all of that.
This is
and it's all
the
working
2-minute timeout
right now. The air raid alive and well in Denton, Texas, and North Texas moving one step closer to a possible college football playoff berth.
if you're a North Texas fan, the theme of the day has been fun, but it hasn't just been the offense scoring and having a good time. The defense has gotten into act too, creating turnovers, celebrating on the sidelines, Steve Austin-like. Big guys getting big sacks. You see Clemens get his dance on, and then the two top sack artists combining for some fun as well. North Texas has it rolling.
3 takeaways that have led to 21 points. Defense that has improved dramatically from last year under the direction of first-year defensive coordinator Skylar Cassidy, coming over from Sam Houston. Getting after the 2-minute timeout, has his man who gets tossed up into the air and slammed. Hooks with the catch. Evan Jackson, 7 tackles today for the junior from Houston.
See UAB move a little bit quicker here now. They can still score some points in this situation. You've shown with time, getting to confine the open guy.
Pretty good day for Kitna in his return to the lineup. 25 of 42 for 276. There's nobody open downfield, looking for Elder Armstead, who has been the guy. Remember, David Fisher went out earlier in the second half, and that is something to keep an eye on. This is a defense already without Shane Witter, who they lost for the year in the game against Navy, and now all eyes will be on the health of Fisher come the injury report Monday. Kitna on second down, floats it, and the pass is caught out of the backfield. It's Beebe.
Good job of hanging on by Beebe. Took a shot. Was able to hold on to that football.
So you look at the American. Keep in mind, Tulane and North Texas don't play this year. So a day that started with 5 teams atop the standings, all with 1 loss. You know, tiebreakers are going to come into play. How the computer breaks it all up and the different scenarios as far as the rankings go. Going to be interesting. Third down, dangerous throw, and it is intercepted by North Texas. Will Jones has number 2, the toe drag ×2 for Jones.
That first one that we saw was spectacular. This is no less spectacular, partner. I guarantee you. Great job of breaking on that football, leaving his feet. Will Jones, watch this now. Comes out of his back pedal, and then look at the burst. Beautiful job. Gets the knee down. Now he doesn't have to worry about the toes. That's understanding where you are. The spatial awareness right there is elite. And so are the hands. Will Jones the second. Yes, sir. Swag off, Will Jones.
What an afternoon for Jones, and an opportunistic defense, one of the best at creating takeaways, and they have done it again today.
And the defensive fun continues, right?
It certainly does.
We gave you a defensive fun package, and, man, they paid it off again.
All right, so you look at what's out in front for North Texas. They travel to Rice Stadium next week. They close out the year against Casey Keeler and Temple. How ironic is that? Keeler, who this offseason went from Sam Houston to the Northeast to guide the Owls and try to get that program rebuilt. It'll be Cassidy facing his former head coach along with 7 other Sam Houston players. A lot could be on the line for the final weekend of the conference slate in the American. Again, those 5 teams: USF, North Texas, Tulane, Navy, East Carolina. All those teams entered today with 1 loss. We saw Navy knock off USF.
And that's the envy of all these conferences. They want that type of parity. Everybody does. Well, the American hasn't. You remember that list of 50-point scoring teams? Well, of the 3 teams that were on the graphic, 2 of them are from the American. So they play an exciting brand of ball in this conference. They have a ton of fun, and it's a very competitive conference, right? And so that's what you're looking for. It's a hats off to the entire group in this conference, because there's a lot of talent. And again, just from a broadcast standpoint, I always enjoy the brand of football they play because it's a lot of fun. And you said fun a lot, but listen, it applies.
Close to 1,000 yards of total offense in this one combined with the 2 teams. And Caleb Hawkins, 5 touchdowns today. North Texas keeps their college football playoff hopes alive. They run their record to 9-1. They take care of business on the road. Coach Morris, he is with Savannah.
Coach, a new game high for Caleb Hawkins, 5 touchdowns this game. How is it over the course of this season? He just keeps getting better.
That kid's amazing. So great kid. He was amazing in pass protection today. He's a complete back, and so happy for him. He gets the record for us at UNT, and so about to give him a game ball here in the locker room.
Every game is a test. What did you learn about the team today?
Yeah, it's not hard to win on the road, and this is a great conference. And so, we had some stuff that was a little bit weird in this game. Time of possession was really heavy in their favor. Our defense was on the field a lot. We came up with some great turnovers today. I think we ended up with 6 of them, and that's been winning recipe football for us.
I know you got to take it week by week with the American Conference title in sight. What did today tell you about the rhythm that you guys are in to be able to keep that going?
Yeah, we got to take it one day at a time. We can't get ahead of ourselves in this deal, but super proud of our kids, and we've gave us a chance to play meaningful games in November, which we haven't done in a while here.
Shout it out. All right, go get Caleb that game ball. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, ma'am.
He mentioned the 6 turnovers, 4 of them the traditional way, the other 2 via 4th down stops.
Yeah, and we talked about, we haven't played a complete game on the road yet. Well, with those turnovers, those stops, and the way this offense showed up as they have all year, and then the special teams with the return game, you can put a big green check mark and say, yes, we have now played a complete game on the road. We're playing our best football of the year. And no matter how you look at this, the North Texas Mean Green is going to be a tough out for everybody for the remainder of the season.
Navy moves to 6-1 after their win against USF. North Texas right on their heels. Keep in mind the Mean Green beat Navy right before the bye. So North Texas sitting in a good spot at 5-1. For Tioka Jackson, Savannah Collins, this is Sean Kinney saying so long from the University of Alabama at Birmingham, where your final score is once again North Texas 53. UAB 24. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Good night from Birmingham.